mean,
that it was not blocking my sight of DW.
No, it's good.
How's this?
That's good. I mean, you sound like I can hear you. Well, speaking of hearing people, welcome everyone to the much anticipated, very long overdue Session 10. I always joke with all of my play groups that Session 10 is perhaps the most important session. There's something about a game that makes its way to double digits that tends to give a game staying power. It's like if we can walk the same path for 10 sessions, it means we can at least put up with each other's bullshit for enough for another 20, 30, maybe 40 more to wrap this thing up, right? So it's good. It's a good sign. Joining me today are 4 incredible role players and people that I would consider friends. All of them except one, and I'll let you decide which one that is. With that being said, when we last left off, our intrepid adventurers, they had delved into an old tomb crypt, a forge of some kind of Arodus. There's some Nethys symbology, some Torag symbology. It's called symbolism. Symbolism, not symbology. But I digress. With that being said, that was a Boondock Saints reference, by the way. But with that being said, they had delved into it, fought many a great terrors and horrors, seen many things, and left with more questions and answers. I believe Dennick's response at the end of it was, "What was the fucking point of all that?" Expletive, expletive. He was rather upset, and rightfully so. However, you discovered a old ancient dwarven artifact known as the Anvil of Torag that was hidden as a kind of casket in which you saw a vision of Arodin handing a bundle of weapons, a crown, a ring, an amulet, a dagger, a sword, and a breastplate to a woman who looked, well, like a priestess of Nethys. Your own Arcanist, I wouldn't say wizard, because you are not one, you are better than, the next best thing, Arcanist, had done some discovering, and during your escapade, I would call it, inside of the dungeon, your Arcanist had felt the sweet embrace of death, but it was not the afterlife that greeted him, it was something stranger, colder, a dark, shadowy voice, and his own teacher dressed in yellow robes, asking him to give in to what the darkness offered. But Ingram, being a man of principle, of power, of justice and good, rejected that offer, and was given untold amounts of pain and anguish that may still leave him shaken and scarred today. But we're going to pick back up with you guys having exited out of the dungeon of sorts, we would call it in technical terms. You now find yourselves out once more in the beautiful summer air. You hear birds, you see a squirrel running around. It is a stark contrast to the otherwise somewhat dim, drab, and dreary aspects of the dungeon. What would you guys like to do?
So we're now out in Overland. Well, after all that, I think a well-needed rest is.
Oh yes, we were very hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm like 9 hit points down, but I think that's after like some major healing.
Yeah.
Much things spent.
Yes.
Much healing spent. Yes, very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yes. 2 second-level spell slots. I'm sure I got from a level up.
Yes.
And then I guess while we're camping and healing, we can discuss where we will go next. Theragor will tell everyone that now that we have found the anvil, we must find a permanent resting place for it, or not resting place, a permanent secure area. Unless you think, of course, unless we plan to fortify this area here, we must make sure that the anvil does not fall into the wrong hands.
Forgive me, but the anvil, significantly shrunk, right?
Yes.
Yep. It was a sarcophagus that became a actual anvil, like a blacksmith's anvil.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if we want to put it on the cart, we can certainly do it, but It does look rather heavy, doesn't it?
I worry that that we will not be able to protect it as well as is protected where it is now. Without having the key, I do not see how anyone would be able to access it.
Well, then I suppose it makes more sense to have it brought back to Oleg's for now, because it's either it is protected in our possession, or it's protected with other people watching over it. Because like certainly, if you want to have this sent back to like a vault, back up north, I'm sure
I,
that the sword lords have plenty
How
of.
how heavy is the anvil? Did it look like several hundred, 200, 300, 400 pounds?
That's a phenomenal question. You never actually bothered to try to lift it. However, I'm going
Mhm.
to give this one to you, Theragor. You would know that a dwarf that is pure of heart and mind and a devout worshipper of Torag could lift the anvil as though it were a feather. All others would struggle
What?
with it as
Mhm.
though it was, well, a fucking anvil.
Right.
Well,
Theragor will
that just sounds
relay
like a
that he's
flight
read
risk.
that. Yes. I just
Sounds like
worry
DM
that
fiat.
if word got back to Gorla that we had brought the anvil to Oleg's or anywhere else, she would gather those to help her steal it. I think until we establish our own fortress or a fortified place, perhaps it is best left where it is.
Uh,
Um,
I agree. Where it is now is hidden, obviously. Protected, perhaps.
Although Gorla did lead us here, she
so the
did tell us
idea
where to go, and therefore,
Correct.
why would she do that?
Correction. I think we found this place through her notes. Correct, or did she tell
That
us?
sounds. I don't think she
I think
told
we made a
us.
did we make a bargain with her and she
Mm-mm.
told us which way
She
to
Mm-mm.
ran
go?
away.
We
The-
rejected her bargain, I thought, because you
She
were
yeah.
was
real not happy
asking
about
you
it.
to do it. You rejected it and then went there anyway.
That's.
Right,
Also,
yeah, yeah,
Ingram
yeah,
did
yeah,
some
yeah.
weird magic by a statue.
Right,
Danik
yeah.
was like, would that have happened even if he didn't do that? And I was like, why do you ask these questions? You're not going to like the answer. I can't give you a good one. It was a whole thing.
Yeah, right, yeah, yeah. So,
okay, so Denick like thinks for a moment, and it's like he's really putting the pieces together one at a time in his mind. That poor water wheel is not going very fast, and he basically says, "Well, okay, so two potential problems then. Either Gorla was too frightened to try and go into this place herself, and needed us to take the get the anvil out, which means now that we are out, we are basically sitting ducks for her, which would mean it would be more prudent to put the anvil back. But since we've already slain all the guardians of this place, if the key was the only thing that was keeping her out, that might not be enough. And we run into the problem of if we leave it here and then leave, how do we know she hasn't just gonna walk right in and take it? So either way, if we have it, oh, and he kind of stops. It's like the idea is on the tip of his tongue, but he can't think of it. It's like at least we know where it is if we have it with us. We're potentially in just as much danger from her if we don't have it or not. But if we have it, then we uh, we know that she hasn't just tried to break back into here and then has made off with it when we weren't looking. That's kind of what he's getting at.
I believe that I have an idea.
We could.
Allow me to take a small bit of time and commune with Torag.
Wait. Did Thoragor just say he thinks he might have an idea?
Yes.
Wow.
Perfect. I think I have like a guidance spell, not a guidance, but augury
Augury, yeah.
that I
you,
could.
you ask a question and you get
Mhm.
wheel, woe, or nothing. Basically, you get like a good feeling, a bad feeling, or a neutral feeling.
I missed the reference. What?
What?
Oh,
I
it
mean-
was.
I just did a sound effect of suspense.
Oh.
Dun, 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 dun,
Oh,
dun,
my
dun.
thing's
Right.
muted.
That's
Okay,
fine. Don't worry about it.
my thing was unmuted.
It was stupid,
and
as all of my
I-
sound effects are.
I thought it was wonderful.
Thank you.
I thought that I had read, but I could be wrong. I thought I read a third level spell that I had
Third level spell. Lucky.
that was a, but I
Present
I
Arcanist.
could have just been thinking about augury. Let me see.
Are you talking about like
Goodness.
commune? It's a 5th level spell, where you can
Oh,
ask
maybe
like
so.
like you can ask very deep questions. But
Yeah,
augury is a
maybe
2nd
so.
level spell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're right.
Basically, you get wheel if the action probably good results, woe for bad, wheel or wool for both, or nothing
Right.
if there's no especially good or bad results.
Right.
Third level.
Yeah. You have a base chance of receiving a meaningful reply, 70 plus 1 per caster level to a maximum of
Mhm.
90%.
Yeah. So I think while we're resting, I think Theragor will prepare augury,
Okay.
and then in the morning he will take out his little personal little anvil thing and work some metal or something, as part of his ritual with Torag. And as he's hammering on it, he'll be listening to the rings of the metal, and he'll cast augury.
Okay.
And I believe he'll ask, would it be I'm trying to think, should we leave the anvil of Torag in its present position now for the time being? Or I mean, I think that might.
Refine that question.
Yeah, let me look at the spell really quick here. Just to make sure. Augury. Whether a particular action will bring good or bad results.
Will leaving the will
Or
leaving the anvil bring good or bad results? That is your question.
yeah. Or I could ask it as if we take the I could do the opposite. If we take the anvil now, will it bring good or bad results?
Which do you want
let's
to
do let's do the
leave it?
leaving. It's more specific, I guess.
Let me think. So you are kind of working a little bit with like maybe doing a little bit of crafting or something, and like maybe thinking about like
Yes.
storage. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You feel there is a deep, steady, warm booming in your chest, like standing close to a roaring forge.
Which makes me feel that leaving it there would be a good that maybe giving me the good. Yes.
You tell me.
So yes. So after his meditations, he will return to everyone and say, I have thought upon it, and as a result of my augury spell, I feel a good feeling associated with leaving the anvil here for now.
Okay.
Yep.
If that is what your magic told you,
We can just take the key with us.
Yes. We just must make sure that it does not fall into Gorla's hands.
Woohoo.
we can take the key out, right? We take the key out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
It's just literally like like the pupil of the eye. It's just a little tiny orb, basically.
Uh, tertiary question for something that happened last time we played. The amulet I picked up was a amulet of +2 intelligence. What was the name of it again?
Like, did I give it a name? Because I'll be honest.
No, not a name. The name of the magic item itself.
Oh, was it an amulet, or did I specifically say
It's
amulet,
a
or would it have been a
headband.
headband?
It was an amulet that acted as the headband item.
Then it functions as a headband of intelligence.
Okay.
But it takes up an amulet slot, is what I had
Right.
said.
Yeah.
It was like a month ago, bro. You think I fucking remember things from yesterday? Like, what do you expect from me, baby bird? I don't remember what we were talking about 5 minutes ago.
Headband of vast
Do better.
intelligence.
What are we doing here?
That's what
Wow.
Who
do
are
better.
you people?
I mean, Denik knew what I wanted before you did, so Denek's DM now.
Might I see the key for a moment?
Nick's freaking out like no.
Might I see the key for a moment?
Yes,
Yeah,
I have the
of
key.
course.
Here you go.
If for some reason we are overtaken by Gorla or those working with her, I'm going to disguise this key so that she will not recognize it as it is. One of you, pick me an animal.
An animal? Like
Yeah.
a small one? Like a
cat.
mouse?
Whichever one you wish.
A cat.
A squirrel
cat.
is sitting on a tree stump, staring at the group, just like nibbling on a little acorn.
Perhaps I like your idea of cat, but there's a squirrel right here. And
There's a cat right there too.
yeah, yeah.
Snail.
As the squirrel is eating the acorn, you see like a forest cat leap towards it. The squirrel sees it and jumps off, and the two leap away, gallivanting into the woods. No one knows what happens. Either the squirrel lives or dies. It both lives and dies. It's Freud's squirrel.
Cat it is.
Schrodinger's squirrel.
There.
there it is.
Schrodinger's
That's what I said. That's what I said. Schrodinger's squirrel.
Freudian
Therefore
slips.
is going to gather together a bunch of wood, and then he's going to place the key down. He's going to cast wood shape
Ooh.
and shape it around to be just a very crude. It can be the ugliest looking cat wooden statuette possible.
I'm gonna
But
roll.
you would
I'm
have
gonna roll a D100.
You would
The
have to break
higher it
open.
is, the nicer the statue looks.
Okay.
It's pretty subpar.
yes. But anyone who would attack us and look at us, they would say, "What is this ugly thing?"
Wow,
But
this person's a horrible artist.
Yeah.
Toss.
If you broke it open, or if I was able to cast, wood shape again or whatever, it would come out in that way.
Is it
so.
like it's like a Cadbury egg, but with a key in it? I love it.
Yeah. but I want to definitely look like a it's supposed to be a statue.
Sure, it looks like a statue.
Yeah.
At least 30% of one.
Right.
We're having fun here. I'm having
Yes.
fun.
Darewolf, I looked at the headband item, and it said there's supposed to be a skill attached to the magic item.
Yeah.
Did you happen to determine that, or do
Yeah.
you want to
Spellcraft. You get an extra.
Okay.
You get an extra +2 to it when you're wearing it.
It was equal to the item says hit dice, but if you want to do +2, that's fine.
Yeah, just +2.
Well,
Okay.
it's because if you think about it, you wear this item for long enough, it becomes like a permanent bonus.
Yeah.
Which would hypothetically have given you more skill points.
Yep.
But then it's like, what happens to the skill points when it goes away? That's a pain in the butt. So you choose a skill instead, and you have like
Right.
max ranks in that, as if
Okay.
you had a higher intelligence.
Correct.
Okay. So I get +2 to the
Bingo.
one skill.
This one happens to be attuned to spellcraft.
Right. After being okay.
What a time to be alive, as they
Right.
say. I say that.
Spellcraft.
Oh, you guys are goobers.
And then I'm +2 intelligence. It's an enhancement bonus. Neat.
Well,
That's
now that
probably
we've,
whatever it was. We
I'll
put
hand.
on the headband of intelligence and go. I should have bought a cloak of resistance.
That's really funny, Nick.
That peanut butter wasn't had expired. Oh no.
Wait, that peanut butter wasn't crunchy. Ooh.
Ugh. God damn it. I don't like that. Stop it.
Oh, you guys are
Aw.
fun. I missed you guys. You guys are
I
fun.
know.
Yeah.
What else we got? What are we thinking? You want to head back to Oleg's and kick back for a little bit? Rendezvous back with the crew? What are we thinking?
I wouldn't
Or-
call it kicking back. We have
or-
to plan how to deal with the Staglord.
All right, I guess if we want to, whatever. I would kick back personally, but you know.
I mean, we could always just, not do anything about the Staglord, but then what sort of a game would we have here?
I mean, he slowly pulls Skull and Shackles onto the table. Do you guys want to be pirates? But I don't. Let me channel Patrick for a moment. I don't want to be a pirate. That guy's amazing. All right. All frickin' right. Okay, so you guys are gonna head back. Roll a couple of random encounters. Ooh, 23. Interesting. On your way back, as you are making your way back towards Oleg's, you are traveling through the
Question.
northern Narlmarsh. Yes, Zachary.
Before we went anywhere, we did a long rest.
Absolutely.
We rested.
Yeah.
For the, okay.
You had a full night's rest. He casts a spell, etc. I'm going to go ahead and delete the thing that says need sphere, because you got it. I'm going to keep the rat on there, because it makes me happy. But as you're heading back, you reach the edge of the Narlmarsh Forest as you are making your way sort of out and into the plains that lead towards Oleg's. In the distance, you can see the hills of the plains are just ever so slightly rolling. It's still a very beautiful midsummer day. The waving wheat can sure smell sweet sort of style, as it were. And as you, that one was for Mimi. I played Curly in Oklahoma. So there you guys. Yeah, not Curly. Wait, fuck. What's the main guy in Oklahoma?
I don't know. I saw it when I was like 10.
The main guy in Oklahoma. I can't think of his fucking name.
I
but
think it's Curly. I
I
think
think
you
it
were
is
right
Curly.
the
I think
first
I was
time.
right. Yeah. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. I love that one. Anyway, I digress. We're not doing show tunes, Charles. This is a goddamn Pathfinder game. With that being said, so as you're moving through, the fresh smell of blood, that sort of like iron smell, fills the air, and as you're looking out in the direction, you find this like partially covered with grass, a little bit of dirt, this dwarven road that you had found before, which is leading in the direction of Oleg's trading post. But strewn across the road, you see 3 torn and shredded bodies of herd animals. Looks to be elk. The bodies themselves look to have been mauled, torn to shreds, and there are blood and entrails like spread everywhere very haphazardly. It looks like something literally tackled these 3 creatures, tore them apart, didn't eat them. This doesn't look like it was for food or hunger. This was just anger and rage. What would you like to do?
I'd like to do a knowledge nature check to see if I can figure anything out about what did this.
Sure, absolutely. Why am I hearing something about a train?
I'm sorry, my family's playing.
Oh, you're good, man. No, it's all good. I heard something about a train, and I was like, I like trains. Trains are cool. I used to play with Lionel growing up. It's all good.
Good luck on no murders happening if they're playing Monopoly, though.
Oh, Lord have mercy. You're absolutely right. So with that 19, Samia, you are very easily able to recognize that this was not done by a hunting sort of animal, carnivore. It wasn't a wolf. It wasn't a panther or a cougar or some sort of like carnivore of some sort. This looks like larger claws. It's not your sort of standard eating nature, as it were, the circle of life. You can't quite place it. However, if someone would like to make a knowledge local check, they might be able to place what this was.
I can do that too.
Good girl, Miss Luna.
I'll aid.
I'll take the aid. Thanks. Yeah.
24.
Why don't I aid you?
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
All right. Beautiful thing. Ingram, you very, very quickly recognize deep gashes, deep claw marks in the side of these creatures. As you analyze them, there is a almost humanoid sizing and claw pattern. You're thinking lycanthrope. More than likely a werewolf.
Wow.
This is not great.
Hits keep on coming.
Lycans did this. Werewolves. Shapeshifters. Cursed shapeshifters. Werewolves. Yes.
Are
With
there
that
local
24, Ingram, you
Mhm.
would know that there are several types of. Well, there's two distinct types of lycanthropes. There are your run-of-the-mill, I was born this way, maybe it's werewolf, maybe it's Maybelline sort of style, right? And then there's your like, oh god, it bit me, the moon turned and now I'm cursed. So there's your cursed lycanthropes, and then there's your natural lycanthropes. This definitely has the, like with the 24, you're like, I'm pretty sure this was a cursed lycanthrope, because this is like just wanton, unjustified slaughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Do I happen to know when the last full moon was?
ooh, now you're asking the real questions. Let me go over my handy dandy calendar real quick.
No kidding.
The full
We're
moon,
on.
as it so happens, is tomorrow.
Oh.
So it started like your full moon. It's tomorrow, of all
Oh.
times. Who would have thought? Almost
Fuck.
like I planned it. Look at that! Isn't that crazy?
Why do we hear boss music?
Uh, why did the music change? I don't like this at all.
There's too much intelligence. Get it off of me. All right. So yeah, Ingram would say, this is most likely turned werewolf. People that are turned into werewolves, not born this way, judging upon the gruesome and wanton gore.
That's what it is. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Wolfeline. I'll see myself out.
Yes, please do.
But why would they wear the woes? Does that just keep them warm in the winter?
Oh God, this is going off this way. Uh, how far are we from the fort?
About 12 miles.
12 miles. So not even an hour or so walk. Or I don't know how long
what?
it takes.
What?
12 miles. I don't walk, okay?
from Oleg's?
Yeah, how far does it take someone to go 12 miles?
Okay,
Takes us
so
like 3
average
days.
walking speed for 1 mile is probably somewhere between 12 and 20 minutes, depending on how fast you are. But that's in the real world, where you're not weighed down by things like armor.
Yeah, it's about a day. Like,
Okay.
if you're not hustling. Over
That's-
like not road, uneven terrain,
Yeah.
etc. It's about a day. That's what we've
Okay.
been. That's been our sort of it takes about a day to explore the full area. You can
Right.
do like 2 hexes in a day if you're hustling and not stopping to explore.
Okay.
About 24 miles. So it's like within a day, ish.
If there are werewolves this close to Oleg's, I would like to get there as soon as possible to warn them, or to make sure they're safe.
If we push, we should be able to get back there before the full moon.
As they say in the wise words of me, Yalla, Habibi. Yalla. I think other people say that too, but yeah, you should go quick. Oh. My internet dropped. Of course. That makes sense. Well, that's fun. Well. Well. My internet dropped. I'll be back. Oh boy, don't you love it.
The last one was iffy.
Murderbot looks
Yeah.
interesting.
The last season was definitely interesting.
I've only seen the first season of that.
Baby, I'm back.
Welcome back.
You can put it all on me. Baby, I'm back.
I'm gonna blame you for everything.
All right, I return with great and wild abandon. All right, we're back. All right, where were we?
Are we in the right?
What did I?
right
What
face
did you?
places?
No.
What did you last miss? Oh no, we're not in the right faces at all. No, absolutely not. That's great. Hold on, let me fix this real quick. So Mimi goes here.
I get to play Ingram today.
Yay!
Oh, that'd be a fun session. Everyone gets to play
Magic,
someone
magic,
different.
magic.
What a twist.
Oh
Where am
god.
I?
I think.
You're in Dennick's slot.
I'm
Who am
fixing
I?
it. Give me a second.
Am I the DM?
Oh, no,
Give
now
me
I'm
a
Theragon.
freaking
This is
second!
great.
I'm trying so hard, but nothing's working right. Who is who now? I don't understand. I think I fixed it. I did. Okay. So my internet for the past like 3-4 days will just drop for 2 to 3 minutes and then come back, and then 5 minutes, 10 minutes later, it'll drop for 2 to 3 minutes and then come back. No idea why. Don't understand. Called the internet provider and they said, so it's been great.
You are appearing very blocky. That might have something to do with it.
I'm appearing what?
Your camera is very jerky. It's dropping a lot of frames.
Oh, is it really?
Well, from my perspective on the Discord call.
Oh.
Sorry, on the Zoom call. I don't know what it's doing on your capture or anything, but.
Oh, my capture it seems fine, but do I seem?
Zoom? It's not.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fine.
Is my voice okay?
Yeah,
yeah,
voice
okay.
is fine.
Honestly, like, so on my end, I look crystal clear and like like crispy. As long as my voice is fine, that's really all that matters for you guys, right?
Yeah.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
You don't have much to look at anyways.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay with it, I'm okay with it.
Okay,
Yeah, you
that's
still look handsome on mine.
Just gonna slip that in there.
wow. That was
Like that?
that was really mean.
Sorry.
I mean, you're not wrong, but you're still an asshole.
okay. You got a wonderful
Fuck.
beard, though. I mean, look at that thing.
Don't try to play nice and
Those-
kissy face now, Ingram. You're fucking dead to
Okay.
me. Where were we? What did you guys last hear before I dropped?
I think Ingram was getting killed by 27 werewolves.
Oh, wow.
Talking.
You guys were talking
Deciding
about
Wow,
that
you guys
you're
were
just-
talking about
Mhm.
werewolves. You had discussed that it was
yes.
definitely a werewolf. All right, talk to me. What do we
Mhm.
think?
And we had decided that we wanted to
Hurry to
push
Oleg's.
through to
Okay.
Oleg's as quickly as
Perfect.
possible.
Yeah.
You guys make your little spring and a step over to Oleg's. You don't run into any werewolves. Thank Jeebus. All right, let me get you guys over to Oleg's.
Specifically not 27 of them.
I mean, several, but not 27. Several.
Oh, okay.
No, you don't run
I
into
mean,
any.
if you want him to kill you, just
No.
I
I'm
think you
expecting
guys
it now.
could probably take some werewolves. You're level what, like 18, 19 now, right? No, you're not. What are you, 4, 5?
I mean,
6?
if you think we're level
Didn't
18,
didn't I give you guys
Hey,
level 5?
Uh,
Didn't I give you guys level 5?
We are,
level
yes.
5,
Sure.
yes.
Right.
You
So
definitely did.
if
There was a
we
thing that
follow
happened.
if we follow the actual schedule of like a typical Pathfinder campaign,
Yeah.
and apply it to how much time has passed since we actually started this campaign,
Yeah.
we are definitely level 20 in real life.
Oh wow.
But we
Okay.
haven't quite made it there in game yet.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. I like that.
It's like you wake up one morning and you're like Hans down on the farm,
Yeah.
and then 3 weeks later you are facing down Tiamat. And you're like, I don't know what happened. I want to go home.
I want to go home. I
Such
hate all of this.
Great.
This is-
Level 10 wizard, 5 fighter, 5 rogue.
This is terrible. I hate everything about this, and
Yeah.
all of that good stuff. Yeah, that's good. I like that. All right. So as you guys get back, Creston greets all of you. Micmac comes running towards Samia, screaming, "The mama!" and tries to hug her. Whether or not she allows that is entirely up to her. And
I will catch him by the back of his neck and hold him at arm's length,
he's just
and,
like,
up so that I can look at him and tell him, I am far too young to be anyone's mother.
and he's
I
just
will
like,
accept aunt or big sister.
he's clawing.
That is it.
He's clawing. "The mama!"
No,
I was half expecting you to just punt him like a football.
He just
it was
Micmac.
tempting,
I know.
but
Micmac, first night. Micmac. Yeah. So
Yes.
he's
I
excited.
am not mother aged. Thank you very
Creston
much.
will pick him up by his waist and carry him away and say, yes, little kobold knight. Perhaps we should leave the ant to her business, and we shall see to some more training. Training, yes, to make Mama happy. She's an ant. She's not old enough to be a mother. The Mama! Whatever. And they walk off together to go do some training.
What have they been teaching him while we've been gone?
Swordplay, not
Clearly not enough.
not enough. Yes.
The birds and the bees, evidently.
Eric is happy to see everyone. It's good to see you all alive. You were out in the woods for quite some time. Anything to report?
Oh, werewolves.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes. Werewolves. We found the kill of a werewolf nearby. We were worried that, well, we wanted you to be alerted here in case you may be in danger.
Oleg turns away from a woman who is sitting across from everyone. She is definitely an elf of some sort. Very reddish-looking lips, slightly green eyes as she sits there. She offers just a curt nod to everyone and then goes back to a hushed conversation with Svetlana, who seems somewhat enthralled by it. Oleg turns, letting a plume of smoke rise up from his long pipe, the smell of vanilla tobacco in the air. It's been known for some time. There is a strange beast in the woods. This werewolf you speak of. Beast torn apart, entrails left across the road in plain alike. That was a question.
Oh, yes. I thought you were
Not to be on the
describing
road,
what
but
people had spoken
Some
of.
of the traders and hunters have spoken of it. Whoever or whatever it is, it tends to keep to itself, out near the edge of the forest.
If I had to make an educated guess, it was not a natural born lichen. It was a person that was turned through bite or scratch or infection.
And perhaps some silver arrows for the guards along the walls this evening, and for the
Right.
two to follow.
Well, it definitely was not keeping to itself. Recently, it appeared that what was killed not out of hunger, but out of anger or rage.
Yes. DM, from what I remember of the gore scene, was it, if I had to replay the carnage in my head,
Yeah.
could I piece it together to be one,
One.
two,
Just one.
three, one
Just one.
perpetrator?
Yep, just one
Okay.
perpetrator. Like, you took some scientific and medical examination of some of those cuts. It was all made by the same hand. Pretty obvious. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Would I be able to guess any information Sherlock style?
As far as what? Sorry?
Would I be able to determine any information about what the person, the height would be?
Tall.
Tall?
Like large. Like probably like over 6 foot, like maybe 6'6". Like based on like some of like the scratch marks, like if it was like a downward strike, like it wasn't a side swipe, it wasn't up, it was down, and it gouges deepest like on like the back side. So like if you imagine like an elk or something, you see like the long neck, antlers, head,
Right.
all that. It was a gouge down the neck, carving deep down to the bone of the spine, and then tearing out flesh, and it had to come from a very high downward stroke.
Is
You know.
I would assume they're like in their full warged form when they're doing this. So
Yeah,
I
that's a
would assume
hybrid
that was
form.
like,
So like
yeah, they're
most
hybrid form.
lycanthropes can turn into like an actual wolf, or they can do a
Mhm.
hybrid, which is like your standard like fantasy
Very
werewolf, which is like a half man, half wolf beast.
Yeah.
Like your I don't know, like the Dracula style werewolf kind of thing, like
Yeah,
vampires and werewolves, etc.
Very Bram Stoker.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it occurs to me the symbolism of this isn't lost on me. It was a stag that was killed. Maybe this could be an ally.
True. Very true. Have there been reports of this werewolf attacking humans?
He shakes his head no. There have not.
Well,
And none have
perhaps there is
seen
hope, then.
none have actually seen it. Only signs that it exists.
I think you might be onto something, Dinnock.
Oh, sorry. It was deer or elk that was killed.
Yeah.
Elk.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Elk.
I thought it was
Specifically
deer.
say elk because there's symbology there.
Symbolisms.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I don't know for certain. I'm still not sure I understand the mechanics of this disease, but I mean, it is possible it's someone who's very angry at the Staglord. Though, I mean, that was kind of out of the way, so I don't know if this is a very particularly poignant message if it wasn't expected to have an audience.
Mhm. Sometime, perhaps we should seek out this werewolf. But I suppose we should decide what our next move will be.
So there's a person that hasn't been speaking that showed up at the camp, right?
She's
elf.
talking
Elf.
with Svetlana, right?
Okay. Sorry, I assume we were done with the werewolf conversation.
Oh no, yeah, I
Yeah,
think we
yeah,
are.
okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Mhm.
Eric,
Um,
although the color has drained from his face, he steadies himself and begins to write. He asks for a specific location. He's taking like a full detailed log of what happened. And you can see that he has this journal he's been keeping, and it has dates, things that have taken place. He's basically chronicling everything you guys are doing. It's both a story as well as like a log. of what's been happening, not dissimilar to Samia's own journal that you're actually keeping in character, and I appreciate. He's doing the same sort of thing. He's trying to be useful, as it were.
Right.
If that makes sense.
I'm gonna turn around and like look for Creston and say, Creston,
No. You hold the sword with the pointy end towards the enemy. Micmac knows that, but you're not doing it now. Micmac having fun! Oh my gods, this is impossible. Yes, Ingram, what can I do for you? Just don't cut yourself. Micmac! And he, runs off.
your guards, do they do any patrols outside of the fort?
Within a mile or two of the fort, and occasionally I send out some of the rangers.
Any
The archers, I should say, to do some hunting, but
right?
no, we keep close to
Ranging.
the fort for now.
Any sightings of anything out of the ordinary?
No, are you looking for something in particular?
We believe there to be a werewolf or lichen about in the area. Cursed turned, not a full-born werewolf.
Well, that is disconcerting, to say the least.
They're aggressive. They can be, depending on how they were turned, the cognizant is there or not.
Man becomes beast, as far as my understanding.
Right. Wide berth, don't approach, don't try to take them out. Just write it down, report it back is probably the safest bet there. But I'm not going to tell you to do the job.
No, I couldn't have said it better myself, Ingram. Wise words.
Right. So nothing out of the ordinary.
No sightings. The rangers, the archers have brought back some good game. You should have some good meal this evening, if you do choose to stay. I'm not sure how long you're planning to be here at the fort, but no sign of a Staglord, his men, or anything nefarious upon the hills.
Thank you.
My pleasure, sir. Steps back. Micmac, where did you... No, what are you doing? No, don't eat that! And he walks off towards Micmac.
I would wait for a point in time in which the Oleg is not kind of busy with the new person to ask if there's any news, but beyond that, I don't really have much to add to this scene.
Okay.
I think that we should go somewhere privately and discuss what our next move might be.
Right.
One never knows what traveler might be reporting back to you know who.
Did you just say, you know who?
Honestly, with the amount of wizards he has in his employ, I'm sure Stagbird's going to find out everything we do anyways, but it's always good to be careful.
I was trying not to mention his name. But
Well,
yes,
that's why we're
you're
calling
right.
him Stagbird.
I think our first
Stanley
step
Staglord.
I think our first step
Esquire.
then should be to scout out and get a lay of where we think he is.
Right. Let's definitely take this inside
Yes.
in the building over there. Or the bunker. That's good too.
I was
Denna.
gonna say that looks like barracks. We should maybe go here.
Yeah, there's a nice little meeting room up there. Absolutely, if you guys want to head over there.
I like the idea that we all just get up and Denna goes and thinks we're going this way. We're all going this way.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Denek just jumps outside the walls and just is like, I'm going outside. I'm gonna move Denek over there. All right, everybody walks inside. Oleg, just smiles. You all go past and joins his wife. And
We love you, Denna.
Eric's gonna follow too. He's gonna chronicle,
Yeah.
as it were. And you all head inside, and
Yes,
the door closes, and Oleg says, there'll be a meal here soon. Then turns his attention back to the stranger, the new arrival that is there.
I did want to do a once over on the person, detect magic.
Sure. You whisper the magic. Your eyes glow slightly blue. As you look at her, you detect several schools of magic. A little bit of abjuration, a little bit of illusion, and a little bit of transmutation magic.
Transmutation.
Illusion, abjuration, and transmutation.
Okay. Thank you.
Eat.
Neat.
That's pretty neat.
That's pretty neat. Never know when one of these random strangers is a 300-foot tall black dragon.
You never know when it might be a 300-foot tall crustacean from the
Right.
Paleolithic era.
Mhm.
You guys are inside.
Mesozoic, I think they said.
I think they do
but
say Mesozoic, but I say
Okay.
Paleolithic because I don't know. I don't know the actual
Oh.
joke.
Yeah.
But
I'm not a geologist.
I'm not a dinosaurologist, but I digress. All right, so you guys head inside. You're able to have a quick, quiet conversation. Svetlana and Oleg are leaning in, talking with the new arrival, the person that's just sitting there and having conversation. They seem enthralled and to be enjoying it. They're both smiling, and that's that. You guys head inside. Eric has his journal out, quill in hand, and is waiting.
So that's what I propose. We go south and scout out the stronghold of the Staglord. See what we're dealing with.
Right. Should we take a out of the way route to scout more area on the way, or
I think unless we see signs of their passage, we know about where they are.
right?
Yes.
Just on our way, we make more headway on exploring the whole area.
I mean, there's a hex just to the east where Old Boken lives, and you haven't met him. And Oleg asked you to go check on him, like, I don't know, a month ago in game.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Wow.
I know.
Oops.
It's great.
Oops.
Has it been a month?
I don't
It's
think I had that note even.
It's fine. It was he said it in passing, and he hasn't asked again. So he was like, yes, Old Boken usually comes to trade, and he hasn't been here in quite some time. So if you would go check on him, I would be
right.
grateful.
The
Well-
druid or alchemist,
The
yes,
alchemist guy.
I
Yeah,
remember.
you haven't met with him.
Oops.
No, we
I've been
haven't.
saving his
He's
voice forever
so
too,
dead.
so I'm so excited. Maybe I don't know. We'll see. Yeah.
Well,
So
we
dead.
should go there
We
first.
should.
Or
we
or
can
just
get there
more
first.
stinky,
Yeah.
or just more stinky. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Flashback to when I put on the amulet. It's like, oh,
That's
right.
broken, right?
Fuck, we were supposed to do that. Damn it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
by
there's
the
a
way,
whole area to the east. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's like 6 or 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's like 8 hexes you could explore as you make your way down. There is a river down there that you can sort of follow down towards the Staglord's fort. So like,
awesome.
it would not be too out of the way, but it would kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You would complete your task of exploring the Greenbelt region that you're supposed to be doing, the northern Greenbelt, and also take you down the pathway towards the Staglord's fort to do some scouting.
Awesome. By the way, he is wearing and is like attached, like has the amulet on, but it's
Yeah.
like tucked deep into his robes,
Okay.
not visible. He's kind of iffy about it, and
Yeah.
he's not ready to wear like religious
Wear it
iconography.
openly.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
something like that.
Mm.
Something,
What?
Yeah,
You don't like
Yeah.
you don't like old dead god amulets? Come on, they're pretty cool.
it's not sure what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, and I'm writing
I don't
this
know
thing,
either.
so
Yeah.
yikes.
Blind leading the down.
That's true. That's true.
Is it the blind leading the deaf or something like that? I don't know. Words.
We do, I feel, know, like we probably know kind of at least the minimum of how many of the Staglord's men there are, because we did see that one group who had captured Audora, and so we had her, that wizard in the long yellow robes, and presumably the Staglord himself. I don't know
You
if we can do any
mean
kind of
my
extrapolation.
mentor?
You also have
Well, I didn't really
captured.
think
You
it
also have
was
captured
that,
one of the
but-
Staglord's men. Well, a woman, if you recall.
Mm.
Do you recall what her name was?
Let's see.
Elnora.
Elnora,
was her
yes,
name.
yes.
Elnora.
Didn't she have amnesia?
So she got a little freaked out when she talked to Ingram, right? But she has since calmed down over, a couple of weeks. And
Oh,
I mean, she would be a
yeah.
good resource if you wanted to ask her some questions
Oh,
about like
yeah,
the
you're right.
Staglord and his fort and maybe some of his troops, his men, etc. Probably
Mhm.
not a bad person to talk to.
Definitely not the
If you bring
person
it
to
up,
talk to.
Eric would be more than happy to step out, bring her back, and allow her to have some questioning.
Oh, yes.
Didn't the last time we tried to question her, she kind of freaked out, right?
Yeah, because of Ingram.
Mhm.
And maybe Ingram, based on some information you've recently discovered, you might begin to understand why. Think about it, Ingram. Who might you remind her of?
Yep.
Suspense music. I won't bother playing it again, but suspense music.
Oh, wow. Immersion broken.
Wow. Okay, so maybe one of us besides Ingram interrogates her then.
Yeah.
Questions? Why does it have to be an interrogation? It sounds so aggressive. Parlays with her, dare I say.
I like where your mind's going, Mimi.
I'm happy
Let's
to try and
strap
talk
it out.
again.
Go ahead, Nick. You were
I'll-
going to say Nick. You were going to say
There's-
Nick.
I was gonna say I'm happy to try and talk to her again, but I'm also okay with other people having some more camera time.
Whatever you guys want to do.
Whoever wants to do it.
Yeah. No, Dinnick is you have the rapport with her, correct?
Yeah, you established a good
Mhm,
rapport
so
with
that's
her.
fine.
I
You're
thought.
also human. She's human. You're not a weird dwarf or a fire person or whatever
Wow.
the fuck Ingram is.
You're
normal.
You know what? I think Eric has the best rapport with her. Eric should
I'm
definitely
not
either-
talking to myself. One of you is doing this.
All right.
Do
I
it,
will
do.
go and say, well, I'll see if we can find out now that she's not in the middle of a trauma meltdown, and hopefully she'll be able to tell us a little bit more.
Mhm.
And I will kind of go out here, nod to Oleg, and say, "Have you seen Lorna anywhere?"
Of course, she's tending to the horses. That's where she spends most of her days. It seems to calm her. A simple task, but an important one.
Yeah. So I'll go in and
As you
I'll first
go
make
to
a pretense.
turn and leave, the woman shifts just a little bit to the right, and she just kind of eyes Dennick for a moment, and she smiles, muted, and she says, "Might I press upon you a personal question of faith?"
A question of faith?
Yes, the very same.
Faith needs no questions, but go ahead.
She pauses for a moment, sitting still, like dust on old stone. She begins. Her voice is almost hushed in the way she does this. When last your face was painted by salt and sorrow, whom did you cry out to? Whom did you hope was listening, and who were you afraid might answer?
Creepy.
Both Oleg and Svetlana turn to you almost simultaneously and are just enthralled by you and what your answer might be.
Creepier.
And if you need me to, I can write that out for you.
No, that's okay. I think I understand. Danik will say, it was no one in specific. I simply called out to anyone who would answer, as I had done my entire life.
She pulls from her lap a journal. Its cover is very thick black leather. The pages are kind of yellowed parchment, and in one hand she sets it on the table. The other is a quill with a white feather at the end, sort of plumed out, and she just writes down your answer really quickly. She looks up again. Another question, if I may press. I will not if you have other things you must attend to, but if you're willing, I would ask.
Well, I think it's only fair if you're going to ask me another question that I should ask one of you. Sorry, but who are you?
Just a traveler, a scribe. If you're asking for a name, it is Helna. You just can call me, well, Helna. It is my name.
I'll do the best I can, though I'm afraid my memory for names is not terribly spectacular.
He slightly lifts the book and wiggles the quill. It's why I choose to write things down. She sets it back down. And this moment in which your eyes were painted, your face painted by that salt and sorrow, what path had led you to that, to such a state?
You know, I've heard of purple prose, but even you must admit this is a bit much. Um, I think that one might be a bit too personal, I'm afraid,
She smiles, nodding. Her face is
for a stranger who
understanding.
I've met 20 seconds ago.
She chuckles very dryly. I understand, and as I said, I will not press further. Perhaps in time you might be willing to answer that question. Until then, I would ask only a name.
My name's Denik.
The soft scratching of quill on paper. She finishes.
Not an I, it's an O, actually.
Oh, forgive me. She crosses it out, does the O again. Denok, not Denik. I understood, yes. All right. Writes it down, and then like you see her scribbling, and as you get a glimpse of like this ledger slash like book, you can see it's just like name after name, descriptions. There's like a little drawing of like somebody. Like it just looks like a journal of like people. And she just like gently closes it and sets it back in her lap and turns her attention and just nods her appreciation to you, Denik.
Is this a collection of the recounting of sorrows of every person you have met?
She looks up. And here I thought we were not at the point of personal questions for strangers.
I think it's a bit much to ask me to recount the worst moments of my life to someone I've just met. But a book is something that is usually meant to be read by many. It is in itself a method of sharing things. So it's something that is already being shared, to just say that it's now off limits is surprising to me.
A playful jest, perhaps to build a bit of rapport that in time you might be willing to share your story of sorrow. Yes, to answer your question, is a recounting of tales I have heard from all that I have spoken to, as much or as little as they are willing to share. I find much can be learned and gleaned from the stories of others. Many bards choose to sing or dance or play instruments. My music is that of stories.
Well, I can certainly think of many ways of dealing with trauma and immersing yourself in that of others. I suppose that's one way. I'm sorry, I don't really have time to talk for too long. Pressing matters. But should we meet again, perhaps that'll be another opportunity.
We can only hope and pray. She turns back and they go back to having their conversation. It seems very light and airy, and Oleg takes a drag of his pipe. But yeah, you're welcome to head over to Elnora.
Well, that seemed totally normal and convenient and not confusing, and I'm actually happy about how that went. And I saunter over towards the stable, where I kind of make a show of like visiting with Milton first. I'm like, yeah, I'm just here to. And good. Oh, what do you know? You're here.
Clip
Hi.
clap. Happy horse feet. Clip clap. Elnora looks over and offers you a smile, and turns back, and she's like busy like brushing a horse. The horse is just like grooving on it. She's got those like thick brushes just going into it and like getting the mane and the fur, I guess, horse hair on the side, and she actually breaks the silence first. How have your travels been, Denik? Well, I hope.
Well, I'm certainly not dead yet. Um, this place is certainly it lives up to its name as an untamed place. I suppose. How have you been?
I have found myself immersed in simple tasks, Dennick. The brand and the voice that came with it was very loud, painful. Now things are quiet. And, well, these horses they're easy to please. Hope that makes sense.
Oh, I know. I've lived a good deal of my life hearing voices of sorts, a voice, and I can understand the surprising quiet when it's not there, and I kind of like look down at my arm and just with like a small thought kind of flex a little bit, and a tiny little flower just pops open.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. I can understand both wanting to hear that voice, and I can understand the calm and clarity that comes when it's not speaking as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad to see that you're not consumed by what has happened. I know it's been some time, but I could use your help.
She stops brushing
Can you tell?
and she's like turns back to the horse. She's been brushing, she's been listening. She stops, she sets it down on like the little like gate that like separates the little like stall from like the open area, and she turns and she like leans on it and she says, "The least I could do is help you in whatever way I can, Dennick. Ask, and I make no promises if I'll have the proper answers, but ask."
Can you tell me anything about the numbers, the disposition of the people working for Stagbird, as we call him?
She nods. "I can, actually. I've been thinking about it much since, well, being released from whatever control they had over me. He has a relatively large force of men and women. There are 30 or 40 or so just soldiers, I would call us. Those like me who simply fell into his command. On top of that, he has 7 or 8 lieutenants, I suppose you can call them, or sergeants. Each of them is wicked in their own way. One of them, though, I think he is a fallen knight. A paladin, perhaps. He's there, but he doesn't seem present. I don't know if that makes sense. Like
You think he was like you? With the
he never took the brand. He refused it, but stayed anyway, and they allowed him. His armor is dirty and worn, and I saw a stag symbol on its chest. Seems like he seems sad. He shrugs a little bit. His name was... What was his name? She like thinks and like mulls it over for a few moments. He's a knight. It'll come to me. What other questions do you have?
so before I ask it, I think back to, do I have a general recollection of the amount of soldiers that were guarding Eldora?
Like 20, like 24, give or
Okay,
take.
sure.
Akaros, she says suddenly. His name was Akaros.
I see. Uh, what other questions would... Oh, could you perhaps draw a map of the Staglord's fortress. Excuse me, Staglord.
Yeah. If she's provided with paper, let's assume that she is, and she'll draw a very simple map. So to give you just a verbal description, so it is a wooden palisade, right? Wooden walls, not dissimilar to the fort that you're in, Oleg's trading post. It is triple in size. There are 2 levels to it. There are 3 towers that are on the northeast, northwest, and the southwest quadrants, where archers are often positioned. All right. The gate itself is wooden, and there is a large, winding wheel, like a crank, that allows the main gate, which faces the north, to be risen. Near the back south side, there is a sort of barracks-like area that is the Staglord's home, effectively. It's where he lives, Stagbert lives, excuse me. And then there are just a myriad of other little areas. There's also a pen where they keep a caged owlbear, she makes mention of, that the Staglord tamed, beat into submission. There is also a basement, but she says she's never been in it. She's just seen the ladder that leads down to it. She thinks the Stagbert is holding someone down there, but she doesn't know who or what it is, as it were. She also mentions that on the east side there is a small crack in the wall.
Uh-oh.
Am I dropping? What happened? Am I here? Can you hear me?
Sorry.
What happened?
Basically everything after ladder down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, someone's in the basement.
Yeah, my internet's being unstable again. Sorry about that. So there's someone in the basement. Can you hear me now?
No problem.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. There's someone in
The
the
camera's frozen, but I
basement.
can hear you.
Okay, fair enough. There's someone in the basement that he's being held there. She doesn't know who or what it is. And then the only other thing she mentioned is that on the east wall there is an area section of the exterior wall that is slightly dilapidated and might be a good approach to get in. It hasn't been fixed because the actual access to it is somewhat hidden. But if someone was careful, they might be able to sneak in through there. Sorry about my internet, everybody.
Oh, no problem.
That's okay.
Well-
Yeah, there's enough details here that my mind's kind of turning into soup. Were there any other potential ways to sneak into the palisade that she's aware of?
No.
Okay. I will. Denick will basically, say, well, I'm glad that you're able to find something, and, hopefully after we've dealt with this situation, and I'm trying to appear, really optimistic about that, you'll be able to figure out something to do that will keep you from worrying about this sort of a thing again. I'm trying to be nice, and I'm assuming that she's probably not going to want to stay at Oleg forever and ever and all that stuff. Though, I mean, who knows? She's happy. No complaints. I'm not gonna yuck no one's yum. And then I'll, toss one last bit of cornbread or whatever that is we had at from Oleg's dinner to Milton, and I will make my way back out and tip my hat
As
and over
you
that. But I'm
exit
still
out
feeling
the-
rather injured, so I want to go to sleep. So
As you exit the precipice out into the main sort of central area, she just gently calls out to you. Thank you, Denick, for treating me like a person.
well, they're all people. We're always all people. Sometimes we make bad mistakes, and sometimes mistakes are made through us. I guess that's what we figure out about the rest of it that matters.
He smiles and goes back to tending to the horses.
And I do my best to try and cross my fingers on my wooden arm, and I'm not quite able to get it.
The wood creaks. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so you head back. Oleg and Svetlana have gotten up and they're tending to the fire. And, yeah.
Okay, so here's what she's fade to black.
Right.
Quick montage of you explaining everything she just said.
Okay. Yep.
Very
You're
good.
hilarious, Nick. You're fucking hilarious, bro. You're fucking hilarious, man. I love it.
Okay. So how many? I'm sorry. There was like 1,000 different thoughts I had, and I just disassociated for like a few minutes. There's a way in through the basement,
No, there's a way in through the east wall.
east wall. Okay.
There's someone being held in the basement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any idea
So
who that is?
we don't know, and until we get in there, we're not going to really, or unless we can capture someone else who does. So I kind of doubt it. But the most important part is that we know how many people are there, so we kind of know how much, like, force we need to really.
There's like probably, just to kind of give
Do
you a very
anything?
direct recap, there's probably like 30-ish or so people, 8 to 9 lieutenants, and the Staglord plus an owlbear. So it's a pretty sizable force.
Okay. So he's not as big as we thought.
I mean,
how
that's
many
a
did you
lot.
think?
That's
100? That's a lot of people.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. I really didn't have an idea.
I mean, given that this area seems pretty deserted, that's a pretty big number to support already.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But like,
All right, okay.
how many soldiers do we have in the trading post with us?
8?
6.
Maybe 9?
That I can count.
10? Maybe 10-ish?
Not 7.
If you include Creston,
There might be more
Ardenal.
7 unnamed character.
8.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
8 or 9.
8 or 9. Okay, so I mean, like, the obvious. When Denik says that the obvious thing to do here, he's clearly like got a mind on like children's stories, right? Like, he's not really a tactician here. He's like, clearly the best idea is to have all our forces make a big ruckus around the front while we sneak in through the east wall. But like 40 versus 9 in a siege scenario is not a war. That's like a slaughter, right?
Mhm.
So I guess he kind of puts to the group, it's like, do we need more allies, or are we just going to try and sneak in and hope for the best?
Well, either we need more allies or we need to start drawing some of his people out and picking them off in small groups.
Right. Wolf, what was the highest? I think I asked this before, but what was the highest circle spell I've seen Kedis cast?
Oh, back in the day?
Yeah.
Like, what circle? Back when you knew him, 4th, which is decent. But, like,
Okay.
yeah, 3rd, 4th.
3rd, 4th. Got it.
Yeah.
My mentor, before he came here and had whatever pact, could cast 4th circle spells. Now, access to the library and this person, I don't know. I assume he has access to the library, right? Is that what I was told? You don't know?
What do you remember? It was a weird moment. You were dead.
Mhm.
Right.
He was in the library.
He was in the library.
That would presume access.
Okay. So yeah, my statement stands. I don't know what
Such
he is capable
confidence.
of.
I love it.
Right. I don't know what he's capable of. Then there's the Stagbird himself. An owl bear. Owlbert.
Albert. That was a great slip. Then there's Albert.
No. That's the Owlbird's name. She knew. It's canon. Please. Okay.
Not saying no. I'm not saying no.
Not saying no. I'll take it.
I'm just not saying yes.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
This Staglord, which we have no idea of his capabilities. Just that he's
Eric
freaky,
will offer.
freaky.
While we have no true idea of his capabilities, he's at least strong enough to convince nearly 24 people to, what, 3 dozen? Nearly 3 dozen people to stand with him in an untamed and unruly region. He has to have at least some capability.
3 to 4 dozen people. Yeah. So I'd place him at least as lethal as my mentor, if not more.
I suppose the question lingers, if I may offer, Ingram. Why? Why has your leader, why has the stag... Well, I suppose based on everything you've shared, your mentor seems to be at least a capable wizard.
Ingram kind of like does this, and is like,
Kind of like rubs his face, yeah.
yeah, I had great respect for his ambition and drive. When I was younger, I stole from him. He found me, and instead of turning me over to the local constabulary, he started to train me in the ways of magic. And it's just gone from there. We've done things, gone places, had adventures, nothing life or death at all. Mostly just going places to get access to tomes, maybe taking a look at old ruins that were thoroughly cleaned. He always wanted to find something no one's ever seen before. Done something that no one's ever done before. As far as I understand. I did not know the level of his greed until now.
And you think it greed? Not just a desire for knowledge?
It could be both. I don't really know. We didn't. When I was almost dead on the floor, in the temple.
Wait, you almost died?
Yeah. Again.
These are important details I feel like you should share.
I mean, if you came with us.
What?
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 Okay. Yeah.
Disgruntled bard noises.
Wizard noises. Not dissimilar from goblin noises. When we went to the temple, there was a big fight. I almost died. A lot of us almost died. I told everyone here, but I also tell you, recap everything for you, Eric. Eric. I came to in what I assume is the library that my mentor was looking for. It was more of a mental visual journey.
Mm-hmm.
The person I assume I talked to was a black miasma mostly, but I believe it to be Avantarana.
What is an Avantarana? You'll have to beg my ignorance.
I don't remember the specifics.
Just a name.
We have no connotations
Nope.
to what it is. Okay.
Nope. It's a name.
Did I make a
weird.
check?
Yeah, if you want to make a knowledge of planes check.
Okay. 25.
That's not bad.
Wizard
It
numbers.
reminds you of an extra. It reminds you of like a planar creature, but you can't quite place what it is. But the name being strange, odd, and otherworldly, it definitely reminds you of a creature of the plains. What type? Not yet.
Mhm. It's definitely an extraplanar entity, I would assume. The what was his name? Hold on. The smith in the temple, um, called call to that. I think he also referred to as that feline bitch.
He did
That's
refer
close.
to it as that feline bitch,
So,
which is a really big hint.
right. So I'm thinking something animalistic, shamanistic, maybe. I have no idea.
Extraplanar, feline bitch.
Mhm.
Those are your clues so far. Do with it as you see
Well,
fit.
that just sounds like a normal cat to me.
I just say,
Right.
hey,
Ah!
I
Hey.
cover up Luna's ears. It's okay, Miss Luna, you're a good girl.
He's a
Two,
good
two
boy.
seconds later, she chomps down on my arm. All right, never mind.
All cats are secretly fey beings. It's fine. Um, and my mentor was there. We had words. I wasn't exactly in the best situation to do anything, but he asked me to join. I said no, and
Why?
I promised
Ingram interrupts. Why?
Ingram.
Not Ingram. Eric. Sorry, I names.
Mhm.
Eric interrupts, and he does ask. He goes, "Why? I mean, I'm glad you did. It seems like he's, no offense, kind of a dick, but, um, why did you refuse him? He was your mentor. You trusted him. He lifted you up out of, well, whatever you were before."
I was someone before him, and I'll continue to be someone after him. If I was to let someone change me so utterly like that, especially with the type of lifespan that I have, I feel it would be wasted.
Whoever did that, that's funny. I'm pretty sure it was Denick. You slag devil. Oh my.
Why?
We're having fun here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're good, brother. You're good.
And anyone that wants to know, he's being very selective with his words.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious in a good way.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
Uh, Off the bat, when I saw him there, and I saw him in the forest, I didn't even think to think that he was who I was looking for. I knew that he was my mentor as soon as he showed himself the second time, but the first time it didn't even occur to me. That type of change in someone being given just this power, it's the kind of power that can scare you.
You said that he always searched for something no one else had found.
The
Do you think that's
rediscovered, the undiscovered, yes.
do you think that's what drove him to the Staglord?
I don't know. I thought I knew Kedis. I've known him quite a long time. There's something there he's not saying. He's
Oh,
choosing not to say.
right.
Yeah. Being very careful with his words.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's just a jerk.
that
Well, you
that
don't
gets
know.
a small smirk from Eric, but he holds back a laugh.
Well, Danica just like I know I might sound like I'm being flippant, but I'm serious. Sometimes people will do terribly violent and selfish things for frankly stupid reasons. I've seen people who, they basically sold out their own parents for like a sack of barley. And I'm barely exaggerating. The things that I used to see when I traveled with the player can't remember the name.
Right.
1 second here. Where is he? I once traveled with a man named Elsari, and I told you about him before, the Judge of Leaves. And not needless to say, I've seen some amount of the idiocy that people will get up to for small trinkets. And here you have a man who seeks the secrets of magic. I'm sorry, it doesn't surprise me. That's all. Yeah.
So no doubt we will have to contend with him if we go to the Staglord's fortress.
Unfortunately, it saddens me that that is the truth.
Well, not necessarily. There are possibly ways to get him to leave if you don't want to confront him right now. His interest is in the library, not in whatever the Staglord's doing, when it comes down to it.
This is something I don't want to run from.
All right.
Oh, prestige, prestige, sleepy kitty.
I present to you my desk kitten.
Yes, your desk gargoyle.
She just is grooving. Continue, please, folks, as I groove.
Yes.
Mhm.
I
You
wish
think-
I wish I could have done something differently.
Good.
All we can do
Good.
is learn. Is learn from our past actions.
If
it
you
seems-
didn't.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, no. You.
No, I was just going to say that he seems to be thinking about a regret that he made. After he says that,
Mhm.
more than Ingram's a regret that he has.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't regret it, then you'd be just as callous as he is. So. I
Anyways,
can see of no reason why you should feel bad about that.
yes. Anyways, so to recap, there's my mentor, there's Stagbert, an owlbear, several lieutenants, a gaggle of minions, and anything else that resides within.
And a potential turncoat. If I did not make it clear during the roleplay with
Potential
Denik and
turncoat?
Laura.
Whoever's
The
being kept in the basement.
The prisoner.
Well, there is one in the
yes.
basement, but there's also the knight who does not seem fully invested in the fort, but does stay. Akiros. And she mentioned a stag symbol on his armor, and she thinks he might be like a fallen knight or holy warrior of some sort.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
If I didn't make that clear, I wanted to revisit it just to make sure it was
I missed
clear.
that part.
Yeah.
It was not clear whether or not he was sad because the Staglord has something on him, or if he's sad because he's just a generally mopey kind of guy. We
Yeah.
we don't really know,
Yeah.
but that is, I suppose, an avenue to pursue. Yes. In the meanwhile, there's also werewolves and the
Spoken.
dusty skeleton of a merchant we were probably supposed to check in on about a month ago.
Yes. I think we should.
I should start with that probably.
Yes, and
Yes.
then make our way to the Staglord's fort.
How do you spell the name of this guy we're supposed to be checking on?
Boken?
Boken?
Yeah.
Old Boken?
Yeah, how do you spell his name?
Bokken?
That is not how I would have spelled it, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I would have done Bokin.
Oh, I left off a K, so...
Oh, really?
Bokken. B-O-K-K-E-N.
Okay, so like wooden practice sword. Got it.
Yep, B-O-K-K-E-N. Boken.
Could be old, blind, were-rat.
Just a dusty skeleton surrounded by rats. Oh, man.
Blind were-rat.
Slowly closed the door to his hut. Yeah, we didn't. We were never here.
Yeah. Splinter? No. I don't know why I'm making Splinter references.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, turtles in a half shell. Turtle power.
Turtle power. Yeah.
I like it. All right.
Yeah.
Anything else to add during your discussion? Sounds like you guys are planning to head out, explore at least where Old Boken is, swing down, go investigate the fort, and see what there is to be seen.
Yes.
Mechanics wise,
Yeah.
I have access to craft arms and armor.
That's pretty cool.
The feat and wondrous items. We have accrued gold. We don't exactly have access to reagents and materials, as far as I understand.
As far as you understand correctly.
Mechanically, what could we do here at Oleg's in terms of enchanting?
Very little.
Very little.
Very little. Just
Got it.
it's a factor of supply and demand. You demand the supplies, and it's not there.
Okay. We'd have to go to like Restov.
Yeah, which is
Or
a week or two
Brevoy
journey. I don't know if you guys want to do
Right.
it. I won't stop you.
No.
Things might happen while you're gone,
Things
but live your
definitely
truth.
happen. Yeah.
No, I'm good. I guess
Speaking
I'd
of
ask,
skeletons, you leave, you come back, all of the NPCs are skeletons. Damn it.
Damn it. No.
I would like to quickly ask Oleg if there's like any new news or anything that we should know about since we came back.
He does mention that there was a trader who was here once before. He describes that woman you met with that like did a little bit of trading and mentioned she worked for like for an
Stone?
enterprise. Yeah, Stone. That she actually returned and has been talking with Oleg about setting up like not like a permanent, but like at least a contract of some sort where she can return every like week or two with like supplies. Like she mentions she mentioned like a trade route. She mentioned to him that her employer, Mrs. Stone Enterprises, is interested in setting up a long-term relationship. She's been she doesn't say like keeping tabs, but she's been like asking Oleg about like how things are going, and the Stone Enterprises, Stone Mercantile as it were, has been taking interest in all of the people that are like, because there's like your group, there's a group that went to the east, there's a group that went to the west, that like were given these charters, right? And she's been keeping tabs on all of them because she's like interested in like, hey, a new kingdom, if a kingdom gets built, that's a great opportunity to make some money, right? So she wants to help supply you guys with the intent that if you do form a kingdom or a barony, her guild, her mercantile company would have first rights of refusal for like setting up like a merchant's guild of some sort.
Okay. I think that's a good option for Oleg.
Yeah.
Well, depending on how things go, Ingram and Samia, Deorgordenik, I suppose expanding Oleg's trading post to something more permanent might be a good use of my time.
Yes. When will she be back?
Well, she was here not 2 days or so ago, so a week there, a week back, 10 days perhaps.
Okay.
All right.
It would take a while, but we could slowly order reagents through her if we wanted
If you
as a
leave
party.
if you leave the orders with me next she returns, I'd be happy to order
Right.
them. I mean, you're looking at least a month or so turn time, but
Right.
at least you know
It's
they're coming.
an option.
Yes.
And we could send her off with some of our items we've picked up.
Yes.
Have her exchange those for
Cash money.
cash money now. JG Wentworth? What's a JG Wentworth? What? It's amulets. Too much.
Is the amulet get +2 to the fourth wall? Like, what the fuck are you doing
Yes.
over there, Ingram?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yes, Darewolf. Ingram says to no one. I'm kidding.
The voice in the sky looks down and judges you.
Mhm.
Ooh, you know who doesn't judge? This kitty. This is Mr.
Oh.
Tio Babino. Look at him. He's so fluffy. He doesn't like being held. But he's a good
No.
puppy. Go on. Run over my keyboard. Go mash the buttons. Kill everybody. All right, good boy.
Yes. Roll damage.
Right, so do you guys feel comfortable with that conversation? You have a plan of action. We can set up some orders, etc. Okay, so I'm assuming you're probably not going to head out right away. Like maybe take the night, do a little resting, get some food, heal up, get all of your wounds and everything healed. I mean, you have rested, but you've got a couple of cuts and scrapes on you, Denick, it looks like. During the evening, I would like the stranger, this woman who did introduce herself as Helena. She attempts to have a quiet conversation with each of you. The conversation starts off not dissimilar to the way, I mean, she's already had a conversation with Denick, so the three that she hasn't, right? To Theragor, you are perhaps maybe near the, I'm just going to kind of set up a scene here. You are perhaps near to the forge. You've just finished a conversation with Argnol. Perhaps you brought up the fact of the anvil, perhaps not, or at least just discuss dwarf things like beards.
Yes.
Aye, beards, anvils.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Did not
You see
bring
the
it
anvil
yet.
on that broad? Oh yeah, that's what I'd like to hammer.
Dwarven
But yeah.
sports.
But anyway,
If he says something like that, Theragor would just,
Dwarven bro talk. All right.
I
I want Aragnol Goldsmith at your service.
Yes.
But no, as you exit out of the work area and like even Micmac is very energetic and bubbly. For some reason, when he's in the forge area or your workroom and he's talking to Argnol or Argnol's talking to him, he's like studious and quiet. There's something about like the rhythmic nature of the work that like calms the kobold. So you'll actually see Creston like pass him off to Argnol, and Argnol is like actually very like quiet, calm, and almost sweet with the kobold. Like kobold will ask questions, Micmac will be like, "What is this?" and he'll explain it like very calmly, quietly, so like a 4-year-old would understand, kind of thing. There's almost like this like father, like this mentor student father almost kind of relationship that's developing there. But as you step out, the woman, the blonde-haired woman, is right there. And she offers you a smile. She's sort of leaning against the workroom, and she has like her black leather journal in her hands and the quill. And she smiles and she nods her head and she says, "Sir, might I press upon you a personal question of faith?"
He kind of says, "What do you mean?" And he kind of looks down at his hammer of Torag that's right here, and then looks back up to her just to make sure that she sees it.
Yeah. She gives it like a very like calm nod, and then she like starts like scribbling with her quill. There's that soft scratching of like the quill on paper, and she says, "A question. And if you wish not to answer it, I will not press further. However, I wonder."
Very well.
"The symbol upon your chest.
Yes.
When you kneel to pray, do you speak to be heard, or do you speak so you cannot be forgotten?"
Neither. I listen.
She mulls that over for a moment, the words seeming to she almost like chews on the words for a little bit. "And what do you listen for, if I may ask?"
I listen for guidance from Torag. But if you were asking questions of my faith, of how I follow Torag, am I correct that this is what you were doing?
She smiles.
Because
in a way, I was asking that.
Because I have very specific answers for you, if you are. But if you mean something else, why, go on.
She takes, she's got the book in her hand, she takes the quill, and she just sort of, shrugs slightly, allowing you to fill the silence.
Yeah. faith is to follow Torag. It is a very practical vocation. One does not think of esoteric matters of faith or speaking one's voice or that. It is what you do, what you make of your life, and what you choose not to do. A follower of Torag should be honorable and forthright. They should always keep their word. They should respect the forge and serve their people. Never should they tell lies or create inferior works. As long as one follows this path, well, that is the path that Torag puts for them.
She takes the quill, bringing it to her lips, and kind of taps that sort of those very red, like almost cherry red lips. She taps it with the white feather of the quill. So then, sir, it is duty that guides your hand, your actions, your heart. Nothing more, nothing less.
Duty. Yes. Perhaps it is duty.
She scribbles a little bit more and she smiles. She seems very pleased with that answer.
But
Might I also ask your name then?
I am Theragal.
As she writes the name out, she spells it out like very quietly, like in a hushed whisper. There's a TH, right?
Indeed.
Therigore. Theragal, a man of duty and principle, guided by the hammer of Torag.
Indeed. To make the best of my life that I can.
Nods. Thank you. And she closes the journal and then just, goes off to go and talk to somebody else, leaving Theragor with his own thoughts. Samia!
Yes.
Samia. I would imagine, being the cavalier that you are, you might be perhaps in the stables, looking after your horse. Is that a fair assumption? Good. There is you hear the quiet footsteps. This is later in the evening, perhaps right after dinner. You feel the quiet footsteps of someone behind you, and you see the traveler, the bard, as you've come to hear from others that have spoken with her, and she asks the same question. Pardon me, might I press upon you, miss, a personal question of faith?
I reserve the right not to answer after I hear what your question is, but sure.
She smiles, muted, but dips her head. It is your decision to answer or refuse. Either way, it will be an answer of sorts. My question is this. Is faith stronger when it is answered or when it isn't?
That's it. That's what you wanted to ask. Everyone knows faith is stronger when it's not answered.
She tilts her head to the side, not displeased by the answer, but just listening to the forcefulness in which you gave it. And you truly, deep in your heart, believe that to be the truth.
Well, maybe not that everyone knows that. There's a lot of stupid people out there.
So if one was to, for example, pray all of their life, none of their prayers were answered. They prayed for knowledge, for bravery, for a life better than the one that they found themselves in, and in the end they were nothing more than when they had began. You think that would be stronger than if their prayers had been answered?
You asked if their faith was stronger, not if they were stronger.
A soft shrug.
To keep praying day after day when nothing answers. It's stubborn. It's stronger, though, than giving up.
She mulls that over. And you, miss, if I might? Is that the path that you would walk? Or would you choose another?
Depends on what you mean. I don't see much point in sitting back and praying for things. You go out and you make your own way. The gods have more work to concern themselves with than us down here.
Once again, her quill comes up, tapping her lips. So you then, if I may, you choose to have faith in yourself, not in the gods above.
Oh, I believe in them. I pray to Desna often enough.
The silence
But
lingers between the two of you as she waits for elaboration.
but why are they going to reach out and help me with something? Why are they going to reach out and help anyone with anything? Presumably they're busy, or so all the myths say, with their own fights, their own concerns. Much better to go after the things you want yourself than sit around praying that someone will magically deliver it to you.
That actually gets a smile with teeth from her. Like, she seems like very pleased with that answer. I don't think I could have said it better myself. She's been busy writing everything like down that you've been saying.
Samia has not been watching her. She's still been tending to her horse.
Perfect. All you hear is that soft scratching of quill on paper. Might I ask your name?
Samia.
She spells it out. Samiya.
Mm-hmm.
You have my thanks for your time and your willingness to answer.
You didn't ask anything too intrusive, so it's fine.
You'd be surprised what some think are intrusive and others think are simple questions. With that, she slips out to find Ingram. Ingram, I think you'd probably be sitting at one of the benches, perhaps alone, perhaps with others, but she sits down beside you, setting the ledger in front of her, her journal
He
of
would-
sorts.
He'd be alone.
Yeah, be alone. All right, so he's alone. We'll put you guys over at the other table. She
Mhm.
sits down, like, next to you. Not intrusive, doesn't, like, brush up against you, just, like, close enough to where she can have a hushed, quiet conversation. She, like, sets the journal down with, like, this almost, like, practiced care. There's kind of a reverence to it. You can see on it just names. You actually see, like, Samia's name. You see Theragor. You see Dennick. You see a couple, like scribbles of questions and whatnot. And then there's like an open space, and she sets the quill down, doesn't begin writing, but she does ask, as she has with everyone else, might I press upon you a personal question of faith?
Ingram will just kind of clean off his quill as he was pontificating arcane equations. Just kind of clean off the quill, use it as a bookmark, and close it. He's going to look at her in the face, like kind of like whip his leg across and just kind of look at her.
Mhm.
Only if I could ask you a question first. And I expect utter candidness.
I seek only truth, so I too offer the same. Ask.
What is the person in front of me? I've seen you go from person to person, asking questions of them, offering little information back, and I am given a mystery. I love mysteries. What is the question of you?
The last time someone asked this question of me, sir, they told me in the same breath that I was an enigma. You ask me what I am, I will put it as plainly and clearly as I can. I am a seeker of truth, knowledge, as beautiful or as ugly as it is. You might ask further, why I seek the truth and why I ask questions. It's because I enjoy their answers. There is nothing more or less to it. I simply am curious about life, existence, the why behind actions. One here spoke of duty. One spoke here of faith. One admitted that at one time the face was painted with salt and sorrow, but would not give me reason why. That in its own way is an answer, the guardedness of it. Does this answer your question?
Striving for truth in the beauty of all things is always a good thing. It is not what knowledge you have, it is what you do with it, I suppose, is a good answer.
What I do with it is record. Nothing more, nothing less, sir.
Is this record questionable? Could I ask you if you have met anyone?
You could.
After I answer your questions, of course.
You could. And I would answer and give that answer freely. Now, I will flavor my question of faith in response to yours. You said that questions are good, so I would ask you, and she thinks for a moment, when last the fire of joy stirred your blood to sing in your bones, to whom did you lift your gaze? Who do you thank when your heart is so full of words that only the soul remembers how to kneel?
There was a time in a small town long ago when I felt that amount of joy. I looked up and I did not pray to a god. I did not thank local deities or spirits or anything like that. I felt joy with another that few get to see maybe once or quite a few times in their life. I beheld something small and fragile that was made by the pair of two.
She is very still as you answer, Ingram, save for that soft scratching of quill on paper. You can see her writing down almost word for word like your response. She brings the quill once again up, tapping it against her lips. So it was to the very gift of life that you lifted your gaze. The very nature of existence, perhaps.
Yes.
A very genuine smile crosses her face, an obvious look of, approval and joy. She leans in so close that you can smell her breath. There is a kind of like a sweetness to it, almost like she has eaten honey recently. There's no magic on it, it's just a little bit. And she says, of all the answers I have received, her hand places itself in the middle of the ledger, she has this book. She says, that is by far one of the most poignant. Her other hand, free, sets the quill down and goes to her chest, and she says, and for that I am eternally grateful. She pulls the quill, kind of tucks it into her sleeve, closes the journal, pulls it back, and there's a little chain, and she hooks it on her lap, and she says, I have time for one more question from you, Ingram.
Oh. And he kind of falters in his words, and he kind of... His left hand is shaking a little bit. It has been a very long time since I've told anyone about that. Thank you for reminding me.
She dips her head.
Kind of rights himself and dusts himself off. There is a man. I have found him. I do not know what has happened between when I lost him and when I found him now. His name is Kedis Ralstrom. I hold him in very high regard. I'll use prestidigitation to make a abstraction of what he looked like when I last saw him.
Like there's like a wavery image of him between the two of you.
And what he looks like now. Last I saw him.
Her eyes flit between now and the previous, and they settle on the previous. I did speak with this man once. It was some time ago. In this form, she points to it. What is your question, then? If I simply met him, or what he told me?
Did he mention what he had been through until then, or what he was trying to do?
The best way I can answer your question, Ingram, is by telling you what question I asked him. I asked him this. I asked which did he fear more, that no god is listening, or that one is. His response was this. He did not care if they were listening or if they were, only if he could rise above them. With that, she offers a muted smile, rises, heads over to where Svetlana is passing out some like warm stew, and then she quietly retires to the like the little barracksy area, the little like room area, to herself, leaving Ingram with his thoughts. One thing I want to make sure that you noticed, Ingram, and that everyone else noticed. You were the only person she didn't ask what your name was. Whether or not that's important, I leave for you to decide. But she said your name, she didn't ask it.
Noted.
Yeah. Well, unless anybody else has any other RP they want to do here at Oleg's trading post. Any other scenes you guys want to have with each other? Any NPCs? Anything like that?
I feel like I've taken a lot of time, but one quick thing that I wanted to
Dude,
I know.
don't worry
Yeah.
about time. Just like
No, yeah, you're
just
fine.
vibe, man. We're just vibing
Alright.
here.
And
That's all we're
cut
doing.
to this woman being
Yeah,
burned at the
yeah.
stake.
Yeah.
Well, that escalated quickly.
My whole party
Ah,
dead.
why? My
Uh,
journal! I just like talking to people! You're all monsters!
Oh boy, alternate universes. Is there a mirror at the fort that I could acquire use of, or
Is there a mirror?
yes?
You want to see if she's a vampire? Like, what the fuck are we doing
No,
here?
no.
Are you a vampire? I don't know.
Yes. No.
Wow. What a twist.
Light hit. No, I'm kidding. No. I just want to know if there's a mirror. There's a reason to it. I'm
Sure.
kidding.
Yeah, like Svetlana has
Okay.
a mirror, and her and Oleg use it. Like he uses it to trim his beard. Why not?
Right. I'm gonna just acquire use of it and
Ingram
go
steals their mirror. Svetlana's like,
Right.
"What happened to my
Oh
mirror?"
no, I'm gonna ask to use it.
She's like, "Of course you could borrow it. It's fine.
Sure.
Your beard could use a trim."
Right. Well.
In real life. Bam.
Wow. All right. Make fun of me. Damn.
I will.
I want to find somewhere out of the way. No one's around.
Cool. You head off into this like corner underneath the
Right.
like the overhang.
Enough light to use the mirror.
Yeah, sure. Why
He
not?
is going to set it up, and he's going to activate See Magic, his Arcanist exploit.
Okay.
Detect magic, read magic.
Sure.
Everything that he has access to,
Okay.
and just try and like. He knows that the soul is like probably a real thing, like in a
In
magical way.
in Pathfinder terms, the soul does exist. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Without a doubt.
He is trying to see because he feels this hunger that just is like borderline not going away.
Correct.
He's tried eating extra. He's tried other things.
Nothing gets rid of it. That's always there.
Can I see anything? Can I try and like see soul? Can I cast see soul?
Not really, but I'll give you
Okay.
this. When you look at yourself, you do see a bit of magic, right? You see the different schools, any wards you might have cast upon you, etc. The
Mhm.
only thing that you see is right in the center in your solar plexus, there is just a kind of like a tiny little, maybe a nickel-sized void. Like where you see no magic, you see it just looks like a little tiny black hole. And it's ever so slightly pulsing. It doesn't grow any bigger, it doesn't get any smaller, it just kind of pulses, ebbs and flows, just the size of a nickel. Very tiny little boop, 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 boop. And that's where you feel this hunger, right there. What it is, what it means, candidly speaking, you simply don't have the information or knowledge to know. But yeah, it's definitely something upon you.
This is gonna lead him down a rabbit hole now.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Love that journey for you.
Yep.
Beautiful.
That's
Beautiful.
it.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. Any other scenes, moments, interactions you guys like to have? I think now is a good time before we head out on some adventuring into the wilds to do a quick little 5 to 10. Everybody can get some
Oh,
water,
sure.
drink,
Yes.
whatever you want to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
That sounds
Cool.
good.
Let's take a quick
Sounds
5
great.
to 10. I'll go ahead and put us on break, and we'll be right.
All right.
You want cereal. Cereal. All right, so when we last left off, you guys had some weird questions by apparently a traveling bard of sorts. In the morning, the traveling bard is gone, as bards often travel and wander. Svetlana and Oleg make mention that they're kind of sad to see her go. She'd been there a couple of days and asked a lot of poignant questions that they found, entertaining at the very least, if not thought-provoking. And she left a single page of paper with a little poem on it. What it said was the following. The poem was this: no prayer was whispered at the end, no hand reached up, no friend. The sky turned black, the ground grew still, and silence came to rend. They asked for time, but time was spent, their names had long been writ. The grave yawned wide, a faithful mouth, and sang as they fell in. The ink did not forgive nor blot, it merely bore the weight. Not cruel nor kind, it only marked the final toll of fate. And there it is. The creepy poem that she leaves behind.
Yes.
Yep. And I would say you can obviously decide how your characters respond to it. Like Oleg and Svetlana seem to take it in as a kind of a they seem to seem comforted by it. Creston's Svetlana reads it out, he's like, that's creepy. Cardinal's like, words are for elves, and goes back to hammering, right? But each of you may may interpret it as you see fit. So there you go.
Theragor says, a dwarven poet would have spoken more plainly.
Samia nods agreement with Creston's view of it.
Creepy. I don't like it. She was weird. I'm glad she's gone. All right, but we enter back out into the area, and Oleg makes mentions. Have you all checked in on old Boken, who I mentioned several weeks ago?
I'm sorry we did not, but we shall do so now.
Well, I hope he's not dead.
We were planning
We're
on
about to go find a corpse.
making our way that way.
Gods, I hope not.
We're about to go find a corpse.
Can you imagine? All right, so you guys head east, excuse me, towards where Oleg has mentioned that Old Boken lives. Old Boken is a herbalist alchemist fellow that lives out in the wilds. Not really the wild, just off the road, as it were. He has a hut near a pond of water, and as you guys are getting near to it, you see that there is a well, an old wishing well. In the wishing well, there's actually some very crystal clear looking water. Had you gone to it earlier, #no spoilers, that well would have been black and tarry, but you guys already fixed everything, so the well is perfectly crystal clear and easy for doing stuff. It's like a little wishing well, as it were. But as you walk up to the hut itself is it's made of grass and some sticks. It kind of smells acidic. The air around is kind of this acidic-y kind of smell. And you don't see anyone, and it's very quiet as you approach the hut. What would you guys like to do?
What is that smell?
It's very acrid. It smells like chemicals.
Denok. Again.
You pick on the guy that's not currently at his desk. Wow. Oh, there he is. There he is.
I knew he was
picking
there.
on this guy. What the hell, man? That's funny.
Does anyone recognize it?
It turns out I was doing lots of role playing. It was really in depth, but I was on mute, so I don't know.
Oh no, not again! Every time. Oh man, that stinks.
I presume I need to make some kind of a survival check to make sure we are not being set upon by elephants and brigands and werewolves.
Oh yeah, we got to see if what's the guy that crossed over with the elephant army? I can't remember.
Hannibal.
That's the guy, Hannibal. You're not being Hannibaled. No, you are not being Hannibaled. It's just in that smell in the air. If anyone has alchemy, craft alchemy, I would also allow, actually just craft alchemy. That's what you'd be looking for. Ingram, you smell alchemical reagents. Things for like potions, acid vials, maybe a couple alchemist fires. You smell maybe even like healing potions and things like that, but definitely like a potion maker. It smells fresh too, so somebody's probably
Okay.
alive in there.
All right.
Shall we call out to him?
Oh, Old Balkan.
There is no response at first.
We are friends of Oleg's.
There is a response. What?
He sounds alive.
We're friends of Oleg's.
You tell that old son of a bitch! Last time he still owes me for them potions I gave him. Cheap bastard!
Well,
Is
we've
that why you haven't been to see him?
I saw him just last week. Wait, what day is it?
I would like
Today's
to make
date.
a perception check in order to see whether or not there is evidence of like visitors to the area, like lots of grass trampled.
Yeah,
Because
your
stag
survival
return
check.
did not show up in small groups. So.
Yeah, your survival check is enough to see that like the only tracks you see is like one single person, and they all are within like 100 feet of this
Okay.
hut.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it the 30th or the 31st? Is it the first or the 31st?
The door creaks open and you see this man. He like squints. He kind of hobbles out the door and looks at everybody. What do you want?
We were asked to check on you by Oleg. It's been some time,
We can tell that bastard I'm fine.
right? Would you care to do some merchandising? Sell us? You have anything worth selling?
He runs his tongue along his upper teeth and then sucks on them. You guys got corn?
We do.
Got any green leaf?
Do I know what green leaf is?
It's fantasy
Kinda like-
marijuana.
Oh,
Take a nearby tree branch and bend it downwards. Point.
Oh, this man, this son of a bitch thinks he's funny. Also, why are you half tree? You a fae? I don't trust the fae. I don't deal with the fae. They can't be trusted. Tricksters, bastards, all of them.
Thergor agrees completely.
I'm not, but I do not have
I'll
to
deal
trade
with the
with
dwarf.
you.
He
I
seems
would
to know
not
what's all
bother you.
about.
we were just interested in some. Sorry, did you say something, Dave?
Well, I said what I basically said is, oh, don't worry. If you don't wish to sell to me, I do not wish to impose. And basically that's all I said.
You know, I like the cut of your jib. You can buy.
What is it you have for sale?
What do you need? I got uppers. I got downers. I got lefts. I got rights. What do you need?
We're more in the
Old Bogan can
adventuring-
provide anything you need. You want to feel? You want to not feel? You want to...
Not drugs.
Oh!
adventuring supplies.
Here, I thought you all were exciting. All right, yeah, I got the normals. I got you some vials, acid, alchemist fires, some potions to fix you, some potions to break you, if you know what I mean.
Do you have any magical potions?
Yes.
Spells contained within?
Yeah, what do I look like? A run-of-the-mill herbalist?
No. Look like a gold man in a shack.
I like the cut of your jib, too. You can also buy. I'm still not sure about the redhead.
She does not wear a
She's
jib.
made of fire. She's
I'm made
Yeah.
of fire and I'm not a fae. Is
Yeah,
that
all I'm
enough?
gonna say is there's a lot of explosive things inside this shack, so Missy, you may wish to keep your distance.
Do you set things on fire, Samia? By accident?
Not normally,
Okay. Just ask.
but I haven't been around an alchemist who mixes his own drugs before, so who knows?
He does that thing with his nose where he like sucks in and then like hawks a loogie.
Especially given that he's been partaking of so many of his things that he's completely lost track of the time.
Who are you again?
We're friends of Oleg's.
Oh, that bastard! You tell him
Yeah.
he pays me what he owes me.
He already did.
We can do that. We can. I'm happy to get that message, but perhaps.
Old Tabby
And I'll
Prospector.
say-
That's Old Boken for you. That's my voice.
Well, perhaps Mr. Mad Dog McCree, you might consider asking him yourself in person. You see, Mr. Levinton has requested that we try and ensure your safety. I'm sure you're aware that the bandit known as the Staglord is growing increasingly more hostile. Currently, Mr. Levinton's trading post has been reinforced by a small guard from Restov. It may be safer for you to abide there until we're sure that we're not about to have something like a war around here.
Old Boken's expression says, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And then, like, he just stares at you, Denik.
Okay, we'll take a step back. Are you familiar with the Staglord?
Assume not and explain to me what you mean.
There is a lunatic who is branding people with terrible magic and trying to use them to take over this place.
Does he pay in gold?
No,
I
he'll
believe
just take
he
your stuff and kill you.
I believe actually he is paying for in indentured servitude via magic.
Old Boken ain't no servant. And also, I don't like tudes. Can't be trusted. Alright, yeah, I'll help you out. What do you need?
I mean, we're happy to buy what to do business with you, but I really think I need you to come back to Oleg's trading post so you don't get, killed in the middle of the night.
You would be safer there.
Give me a diplomacy check.
Sure.
You all get a +10 because he's high as fuck.
That's a shame.
Oh.
Theragord.
I'll use my reroll for today.
Theragord. No. Let Theragord have this one. He's gonna
Okay.
walk over to Theragord and get
Yeah.
real low. He does that that dad thing where he gets low and puts his hands on his knees and gets to eye level with you and says, "All right. On one condition,
Yes.
I can pluck a single hair from your beard. There's something I've been meaning to try."
Very well.
He plucks it without another question
Yeah,
and
yeah.
puts it into a vial, and the
Yes.
vial has a weird purplish green substance in it, and he shakes it up really quick. And then he stares at it, it starts to bubble and churn, and then he gets it real close to his eye, closes the one, puts it up into the sun, then he pops it and drinks it. Dang it. And then he's like, all right, well, let me grab a few things, and I'll head back over to, what was his name again? Holegs?
Yes. And when he walks away, he'll lean into Dinnik. Are you sure it was a good idea to invite him to Oleg's?
I mean, I wouldn't want it on my conscience if something happened to someone who didn't quite deserve it. Though I don't know if we've figured out if he deserved it or not yet.
So, he is the local, basically potion maker. He can make potions up to level 2 spells. Primarily cure mods, cure light wounds potions, and then he also sells a couple bark skin, and then some your standard divine zoo spells, I guess you could call them. So
What are the chances, and I know this is a bit of a stretch considering he's an alchemist, what are the chances he has access to any wands?
0, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Alas,
What do you need
Here,
a
go,
wand
well-
for?
a wand?
Yeah.
Oh,
Just to
yeah.
any looking for wands in general. Because we have the wand to sleep.
It's okay. I don't
Okay.
know.
They're going to ask him, do you have anything that would help werewolves?
Wolf's Bane.
Well,
He
not
he
harm them,
rubs,
but help
rubs his
them.
chin and strokes his scraggly beard and says, "Well,
It
I
can
can tell you
help
this much about werewolves. A swift kick in the nuts with some silver-toed boots."
Well, sorry. Wolfsbane in as far as I'm seeing on like
The
internet.
wiki? The wiki?
Yeah.
As far as
No.
I'm seeing on the wiki,
No.
that's fine. I don't care. It's
Okay.
we're playing a game. Look it up. I don't
Yeah.
give a shit. It's fine.
Yeah, it says it helps victims of lycanthropy throw off the curse.
Yeah.
Oh.
He
Yeah.
would say that there is some wolfsbane. That he knows that it grows down along the Shrike River, like southwest. So pretty much straight south. He said it's like just to the southeast of the Great Willow. There's a place where wolfsbane grows.
Okay, so like over
Like
here,
right down here.
right down there. Okay.
Yeah, like just the southeast of
Okay.
the tree.
What about special materials? Would you happen to know where there might be any cold iron, mithril? You have any capability of getting your hands on any of that?
He looks at you like you're an idiot.
I know
And then-
that's not
and then just
necessarily
shakes his head.
an alchemist thing, but
No. I know herbs, and plants,
okay,
and drugs. You want some drugs?
we'll talk.
All right.
Well,
Lean said he'd be
there are
like, it'd
scowls
be a
and
lot
everyone.
cooler if you did.
Because there's like forgive me if I'm mistaken, but isn't it like you can use alchemy to make like some, isn't it like magical woods or something like that you can grow?
Yeah, there's wood and stuff. But like I'll be
Okay.
honest, this guy his point in the story, hashtag all meta, is to give you access to like early level potions that you can buy readily. You just
Okay.
waited until you were level 5, which is fine.
Okay.
It's whatever, man. But now you can buy like potions and like, at like 75% their normal cost. Like he'll give you a bit of a discount. He's
Okay.
too high to realize he's getting screwed.
And yet he is not high enough for whatever to realize that he's been complaining about Oleg shortchanging him.
Correct.
I'm also looking at stuff like I might be able to make as well.
Yeah, man.
I think that Denik will avoid buying anything at this time.
Perfect.
I think he's good enough with people to think, oh, this guy's like not quite in his right head, and he does not feel like taking advantage.
Yeah.
Sure.
How are we on our inventory of potions?
There's one thing I wanted to ask if you had.
Sure, go for it. Man. Yes.
But potions. Let me answer
Did
that.
we have a notepad on that, or I was trying to remember.
Let me look up my consumables. I have several scrolls.
By the way, my internet
hold
connection's
on,
saying
let
it's
me just-
unstable.
Oh, I see. We have a party loot.
My internet connection dropped. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, should go for it, man. Sure.
Oh,
There he is.
apparently I'm back.
Back.
You lagged so hard that
Yeah.
Zoom saved what you said, and when you reconnected, it
Yeah.
played it.
Oh, really?
That was
That's
yeah.
crazy. Good
Like
stuff.
so, yeah. Like the last thing we heard was like, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Oh,
But we were talking about what consumables we had on us.
yeah.
I
Do your
just
thing.
had to
In
throw
my
it in the
inventory, I have a potion of Cure Light and a potion of Fox Scanning.
I might buy a couple of cure moderates. How much does he sell them for?
So Cure Moderates, I believe, are 300. He sells them at 75%, which would be what, 225? 300 times. Oh,
And I must say, I have no idea
225.
how much
Yeah,
money I have.
you don't know how much money you have?
I'm looking right now,
That's
but
that sounds
oh.
like a personal problem.
yeah.
Party loot, we have 4,321. 4,321.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys. I don't have a lot of gold because we've mostly just dumped everything in the party loot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which
I
you're
have
welcome to
27.
draw from.
Taking something
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want
Yeah.
to buy some cure mods, please feel free to
Yeah.
use the
Yeah.
party loot for that.
Absolutely.
That's what it's there for.
Wolf, I'm seeing a oil
Yeah.
on here that is Stalker's oil.
Okay.
It's +2 circumstance to stealth for 30 minutes,
Yeah.
1 vial for a medium piece.
Yeah.
Would he happen to have any?
Sure.
Okay. Can we get like 2? It's priced at like 50 gold on the website.
He has 1.
1?
1 vial.
Okay. How much?
He tries to upcharge you, then you counter him, and then he downcharges himself down to the 75%. And then he's like, yeah, sucker.
So whatever 75% of 50.
Yeah.
Okay. Minus- Wait, no. 25%.
Do you think
38 gold.
if we bought 4 cure moderates and we each had one on them ourselves
I mean,
for emergencies?
They're also at a caster level 5. So it's it's 2d8 plus 5, which is not bad.
It's a whatever you think. Or if you think the money would be wise, spent more wisely elsewhere, that's fine. Too.
Well, I think that we spent a certain amount of time getting our asses handed to us, and getting something is certainly practical at this point, especially if your August person is unconscious.
Yes. So let's. That's what I would like to do. Buy 4 out of the party loot, if that's all right, and give 1 to each of us.
Sweet.
I have a random question that was the consequence of me thinking about things. As they usually come. I have the ability to cast Cure Light Wounds, technically.
Okay.
Would I be able to craft wands of Cure Light once I get access to craft wands?
Yes, because you can cast the spell. I'll be honest, I don't really do crafting a lot, like as a game master, because I can just, make shit I want. But I'm pretty sure if you can cast the spell, you can make the wand, as long as you have the craft wand feat. Which I know you get Scribe Scroll. I think you get Scribe Scroll at first level as an Arcanist. I know Wizards do, but I
Wizards do. Arcanists do not.
Okay, so yeah, you'd need craft wand. Then is the feat.
Craft wand. I think it's CL CL something I didn't have.
Mm-hmm.
For me to take that feat.
I mean, something definitely to consider later. Yeah.
Definitely will be picking that up.
It's not every wizard who just has like a giant backpack full of wands. Like, excuse me, I'll need like 3 rounds to find the wand I want.
Oh shit! I could have done craft wand. It's only CL5. Damn it. Oh well. We can make magic items. We can make magical arms and armor. That's cool.
Depends if you actually want to spend the time on doing it. It's
Yeah.
basically us sitting there going, while you're like,
well, I'm hoping we get a lot of downtime.
I mean, eventually we will. That's part of
Yeah.
the point of Kingmaker. It's just we have to get to the downtime moments.
Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, Stalker's Oil. One vial, 38 from the party gold. I think that's best given to Denok for stealth purposes. It gives you +2 to stealth for 30
You
minutes.
can rub the oil into your wood.
Whoa. PG-13, buddy. PG-13.
Not my Christian Minecraft server.
My Christian Minecraft server. Dear God.
But you're right. I'm not exactly invisible.
No. Well, I mean, you got a good stealth score, right?
Yeah. If I'm really trying, I'm harder to find than your average level 1 farmer. But yeah, I'm just saying, it's like that does require there to be something to hide behind.
That's a really low bar, brother.
Yeah.
That's a really low bar.
I am.
Like
I'm
a level
to be
1 commoner.
humble.
Like yikes.
Yikes.
I'm attempting to be humble. That's not exactly my specialty.
who
but
like
yes,
who
I
like
can.
boosted his dex to 12 like a level 1 farmer. Oh,
my
that's funny.
God.
That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. I like it.
Yeah, nothing really else to add here.
Okay.
Everyone kind of shocked, and I'm just like
Yeah.
making sure more or less that like he actually does kind of pack up at some point to make sure he's gonna be safe.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so there are 7 hexes that, candidly speaking, I'm gonna have us kind of blitz through in the interest
Okay.
of like there's not a whole lot there to discover. I'm gonna roll a
Sure.
couple of random encounters, but like these areas would have been far more dangerous when it was, frozen Iceland, and now it's
Right.
happy Summerland. So the possibility of a bad encounter is like less than 10%. All right, you may
Yeah.
have encounters, but they're not going to be
Mhm.
bad. So I would like you to give me 7 survival checks, and then I'm going to roll just
Okay.
7 random encounters. 1, 2,
What?
6,
Look at those encounters.
Damn. 1, 2,
3 hits.
5. Wow, 3 hits. That's fucking crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Well, here I am like, oh, this will be fine. Nothing bad will happen. And yet, here we are.
Was it eight hexes we're going through, or 7?
7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And
7.
was it
Yeah,
the
okay.
lower nut roll, the better?
No.
You said less than 10%, so that's only 1.
Oh, well, I did roll a 1 though on that, which is a
Uh-oh.
thing.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
So
Oh no.
Please.
that's fun.
Here we go.
That's what you're gonna explore.
Anyways, the dragon
Explore.
started blasting.
yes.
Yeah.
My internet's unstable again.
Froze again.
Yeah.
Frozen man.
In a very intimidating pose.
Yeah. For him.
Oh my lord. Can you guys hear me?
That's
I can hear you.
We didn't hear any of that.
Can you hear me at all? Am I back?
now.
Right
I
now?
can.
Yeah.
Am I
Ooh,
back?
there we go.
Okay.
Okay.
My internet's being
Yes,
real
yes.
fucky right now. It just keeps cutting in and out left and right. I'm so sorry, guys. Like, it's been
That's
like
no
this all
problem.
week.
It's okay.
It's real annoying. But okay, I'm back.
It means we missed you describing the dragon that's about to eat us.
Yes.
I
yes.
wish. No. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, did we get the? Yeah. So anyway, the
Oh.
dragon started burning. Give me those
Yeah.
survival checks, please.
You want him just from like Dennett?
Ooh,
He's
Dennick.
been our
Dennick's the guy that's
Yeah,
the survival guy.
Denix
Yep.
are.
Yeah.
Survival. That's not a 1.
Technically, one of us could aid him.
Is anyone else like?
Let me see how good I am.
You
at
can
that.
make it
I don't think I
untrained, so
am.
you can just go for it.
I have
Yeah.
a +1.
Let's see.
I also have a +1.
Hey,
yeah.
it's better than a kick in the teeth, boys and girls.
I have a +4.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh.
there you
Not
go.
it.
Yep, I think
All
Theragar
right.
needs to help him.
All right. So how many assists do I do?
You know what? I'm gonna
Just
have
one?
you make. I'm just gonna have you make 2 survival checks because the rest of them are unimportant. You get a 15, 26. Perfect. Okay. So, in one of the hexes, we're gonna call it this hex right here that has stuff on it, right? You guys actually see a swath of land that appears to have been melted by acid. Like just a big old swath.
Damn it.
There's a couple of like burned elk. The elk just get fucked in this area like constantly. Why the herd
Apparently.
stays,
Yeah.
we don't know. But they're burned, and some of them were like melted, and you do notice like a couple of half-eaten ones. So maybe a dragon was here at some point. It definitely looks like a dragon.
It's a sign.
Right.
The dragon
Yeah.
really hates Stagbird.
It really
Yeah.
does. We can ally with him. It'll be great.
Yes.
But yeah, there's definitely a dragon that ate here at some point.
And where was the bridge that it melted?
Down over yonder.
Over there. So
Mhm.
from there to there.
Correct.
Yeah, this area seems to be Dragon Place.
And what is this thing right here?
That's fantastic. I'm actually going to take
Oh,
you guys
okay.
to another map when you guys are ready.
Oh.
But your nat 1 that you got actually brings you to a small crossing. And in that crossing you see a bridge that has been washed out. And there is just this kind of like ominous presence in the air as you approach. And as you look out into the water, you see the following. All right.
Washed out bridge.
Yeah,
Okay.
washed out bridge before you. I'm going to go ahead and grab your tokens off of a different map, if I may be so bold.
Should have brought a boat.
Did you guys want to bring Eric along on this adventure?
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah, why not?
why not?
Eric, if he wants to come along.
Yeah, he did get shit talked about not coming last time, so he's like, I'll show him.
Finally, he does something.
I'm useful.
Okay.
Look at me. Yay. All right. So yeah, as you're standing by the bridge, near the center of this washed away bridge, the water begins to churn and bubble, almost like there's a bunch of fish that are like feeding in that area. Rising up out of the water, you see a mostly decayed and waterlogged zombie.
Ugh.
It is carrying in its hand a wicked-looking dident, not a trident. It only has 2 forks, it's like a pitchfork, right? Like 2 of them, but like not three and 2. All right. It stares at you with these sunken, waterlogged eyes, and in a raspy voice, it calls out, "I ask of you, what lord do you serve?"
We serve.
Do we
No.
have like a specific standard answer to that? Like, do we serve the Sword Lords of Rostov? I don't actually know for sure.
We've been empowered by the Sword Lords of Rostov, but we're not beholden to them. I don't think.
Correct.
We're just using their
You're not
authority.
beholden to them quite. They
Quite.
did grant you the ability to, be here, but you're kind of like do your own thing.
Right. The Sword Lords of Rostov have granted us a charter to civilize these lands. No lord holds domain over us.
Then you do not serve the Lord of Stags, the bastard who threw me here when I refused his offer of servitude.
Oh yeah, no,
No.
he's awful.
Yeah, that guy sucks.
The raspy, waterlogged zombie sort of tilts his head back and forth. The water churns at his feet. Then do you seek to rise against him, drive him from these lands, and bury him in a shallow grave?
Indeed, we do.
If there's anything to bury, yes.
I would see it fit if there was nothing to bury. He deserves no rest in this life or the next. May his soul find nothing but the void. Know this, his fortress lies at the southwestern portion of this river, where it connects with the lake, a large lake to the southwest. He is not alone. A man dressed in yellow robes serves him. But not him, truly. Truly the man in yellow serves another. A voice that whispers in the night. The Staglord, though he thinks himself a king, is naught but a pawn in grander schemes. Know this too. There are those that are pledged fully to his service.
This is a lot of information from a body in a stream.
Mm-hmm.
Voice stops. Does not continue. It waits.
Oh, there. There are those Forced into his service, you said? By a brand, perhaps?
Yes. And then he looks directly at Dennick with sunken eyes. He betrayed me. I offered him friendship, and when I refused to serve him as a god, he cut my throat and threw me into this river. My spirit yet remains, angry for the betrayal, and I would see him punished.
If he receives his punishment, would you be set free?
I would.
Then we shall do this.
I whisper kind of my breath. What would you do, lady?
There's like a tickle on your wooden arm. It's like someone is lightly like taking their just their fingertips and like brushing them along like your hand, up your arm, and then like lightly caresses your cheek, and you feel a kind of warmth, a kind of like kindness. You may interpret that as you see fit.
I take a small couple drops of pesticide and
Your arm begins to burn. You take 1d10 con damage. Make a fort save to have it.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
goodness. That's a lot. But okay.
Oh wow.
Double damage. Oh,
Damn.
You know,
oh, God.
pesticide's not meant to kill the plant. It's for the, the mites that I'm worried are that I might be carrying around
The
with me anyway.
termites in your arm? Oh god. That's terrible. That's really funny.
Okay.
So he said if we follow...
Yeah, if you follow the river to the southwest, it ends where a great lake begins. On the shores of that lake is where the Staglord's fort resides. If you ask him the name of the lake, he says the name of the lake in these lands is called the Tuskwater.
I will ask, since I feel like this information kind of groks with where we already think his fortress is.
It absolutely does. 100%.
I will say, we've already seen that we call him Stagbird. We don't feel he really is worthy of the appellation.
That is a stupid name, but I like it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Why is it that you deserve such a personal fate from him if he is using everyone like these branded pawns?
The zombie, for all intents and purposes, the ghoul, whatever you want to call it, draws in a very deep, deep, raspy, waterlogged breath.
Waterbird.
Waterbird. Because he
Whataburger.
was my brother, not only in action, but in blood.
Okay, well, that answers that.
What is the source of the Staglord's power?
That I do not know.
So he's a guy. I'm kidding. Don't say that.
And it was this that we quarreled over. I felt he traveled down a dark path that would lead only to corruption.
Is there?
And so
Oh.
I was right. Say again? Did you ask a question? It cut out for a moment. I'm sorry.
I just thought of a question.
Yeah.
I've heard that there's someone who is imprisoned within the Stagbird's palisade. Do you know who that is?
The water ghoul's head lowers, looking down to the water. The water at his waistline churns more. The churning almost sounds like soft sobbing at this moment. It is our father.
Harsh?
Oh, wait, do I
I'm
need-
sensing that the family
Yeah.
dynamics
Do I need to do
here
the thing?
are,
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
I'm sensing this family dynamic is not very healthy.
You don't say.
Very, very, very bad family life.
Really?
One other question
Yeah.
before we go to try and make good on this deal. We've been doing, as you might be able to guess, that we've been doing some asking around, but I have heard of an sorry, I don't remember the name of the
Akiros.
grumpy knight. Of Acuros.
Oh.
They gave me the impression that he wasn't too happy with his lot in this situation. Why is he there?
He is a fallen knight of Erastil, once a holy warrior. I know not why he fell from grace from the true Lord of Stags, only that he is there because he feels he has nowhere else to go. I would think he seeks redemption, but in the Stagbert's company, he can find only misery.
And what of the Wizard of the Yellow Robe? Do you know of him?
Only that I did not trust him, and I believe it was he who whispered in my brother's ear and convinced him to turn me into what I am.
Does the name Avantara... sorry.
Avantara.
Avantara. Does the name Avantar mean anything to you?
The water ghoul shakes its head no.
Did the man in yellow, when did you first meet him? What was he? By then.
He came with an offer of power. He asked in return only for information.
I mean, I don't suspect he's probably going to give the same information, so... Do you need help getting out of the water? Like,
It feels like he's cursed here.
He's cursed here. Like he's stuck. Yeah, give me a knowledge religion. He's basically a revenant.
Revenant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
who's like
revenant.
stuck in this place though. Like, if he could get up and seek his brother, he would, and he would kill him. But like something is trapping here in the water, unfortunately.
Sea magic. Get a
Lots of
glimpse that.
necromancy.
Yeah, lots of any like necromancy, anything to do with the curse. Maybe something I could break later on.
I mean, candidly speaking, it's one of those things where like you can't, dispel curse or anything. Like the action has to happen to like put him to rest. Yeah, that's what you would see. Like as you analyze the weaves, the magic, and I've often described magic as like actual like stitch work, etc. You're like, oh, that magic's holding him in place, and like an action needs to break it.
It's like a rat, like a rat king nest of rats.
Yeah, I would imagine it sort of like a lock that has a very specific key.
Right.
Yeah.
We forgot our voicemail password. Got it.
is there any information you can give us that will help us to see this deal through?
Any secret ways into the fortress, perhaps?
Is there... Sorry to stack. Don't want to stack questions. I do have a question, though.
Yeah, let me answer them one at a time. Is there any secret way? He makes mention of the same passage, the break in the wall, that the other person answers. So that's 2 times you've heard it, so that should solidify that that's an option. And then he makes mention that he believes Akaros, if given an opportunity for redemption, even if it is simply just to fight against those that he is with, he would likely take it. So you should seek him. Like if you do approach, you should seek him and like tell him. He does make mention that he has heard Akaros in the evenings say, prayers to Erastil, your mind may drift to Jode. Like Theragor, you might think, oh, Jode might be able to, like, if he sees a priest of Erastil, maybe this guy will turn. That might be something you might consider, Theragor. And then he makes mention that though his brother is strong, he had taken, like months ago when this happened, he's been stuck here for a while, he had taken to the bottle, and he can only imagine that his brother is even more drunk now. So he drinks heaviest in the evenings. So probably going at night might be the best bet. His last bit of advice that he could offer is that the only ones that are truly loyal to him are his 8 lieutenants. The rest
9?
simply are there because of the brand.
Oh, so he has 9, but only 8 are loyal?
Yeah. Well, there's 9,
Okay.
including Akiros, who's technically a lieutenant.
Oh, okay,
but,
okay.
like,
He's a lieutenant. Got it.
Yeah, but like,
Right.
he's only there because he doesn't feel like he has anywhere else to go.
Okay. Then my question, right?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Is there anyone in the lands within a day or so that would lend aid besides the kobolds?
Oh, unfortunately, this man just doesn't know those answers. He shakes his head and, like, kind of shrugs slightly, like he just simply doesn't know. But, like, thinking about people you know, you've got Frank and Emma, you've got the kobolds, you've got Oradora, you've got Jode, you've got Pervalash, and you have Creston. Like, I mean, if you really pulled the numbers together, you guys probably have 20, like, or so NPCs you could bring with you. Like, you've got a pretty sizable army. You'd have to convince them all, right? Creston would be easy. The kobolds would probably be easy. Jode, Oradora, Pervalash. The only ones that might be hard might be Frank and Emma, but, like, you know,
Promise them all the liquor in the castle.
Oh, hey, you got me then. I'm coming.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. Oh, hey.
I mean, if we tell her that the Staglord wants
best
to kill
place
her
to have
beloved
a
husband.
wedding.
Ooh.
No, we tell her the Staglord wants to kill her beloved future husband. She'll be right on him.
100%.
Also, the best place to have a wedding? A castle?
A castle? Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
That would be really
Yeah.
good. If you offer them if you offer them, yeah, 100%.
The royal wedding?
It says my connection's unstable again, by the way.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
We got
Oh,
T-minus
no, it's back. I'm
10
good.
seconds.
All right.
Cupcake sale
Okay.
outside the palisade.
That'd be really funny. Yeah. All right. So you guys have gathered some information.
Oh my
That's
god.
funny.
The guy then,
All
like,
right.
drifts back down into the water. Hashtag, you know, hashtag a little bit of, you know,
Our quick time event's over.
your quick time event's over. Yep.
Uh-oh.
Hashtag
This has been fun.
sunken zombie.
Oh, ghoul of the lake, what is your wisdom?
All right. My internet's getting real fucky. Like, I keep cutting it out, guys. I'm super sorry. But
Uh-oh.
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
No
It's
problem.
okay. You're
Yeah,
good.
we're-
You're good.
I'm doing my
Yeah.
best here, guys. All right, so you guys
Yeah.
are gonna
We
head
know.
down, and you kind of.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, nothing to do with the zombie guy. Our quick time event with him is over, I assume.
Yeah, sure. Your quick time event's over.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. I've heard. I remember Keonan is nearby, right?
Like the
Or
place.
something like that. Yeah.
Ke-
Wasn't there someone that went to like an already developed city with the charters that we talked to?
Are you- what? No.
Or there was.
No.
No, I can't think of anybody. Like,
I don't think it was.
If you're
What I
asking
remember
about
is
the
someone
nearest
else.
nations to us,
There was another charter that we talked to when we were like, "Hey,
Yeah.
what do you know?
Mhm.
Talk to us."
you're talking about Varnhold, which
Varnhold
is going to be
that's
like
it.
the guy. Yeah, there was Varn. You talked to Varn. Yeah. Yeah, the Lord Varn.
Does that do we know where he is?
I mean, he was given a charter to the lands of the east, but you don't know if they're alive or dead. Like, you haven't had any contact with them in months. The last time you saw them was in Restov when they too were leaving, similar to the way you guys were.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we could probably.
And then there was another one that was like an area off to the west, whose name you never got. And then there's Patax, who's farther west.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that name sound familiar?
I don't know. Did you play the CRPG? I don't know what to tell you.
Oh.
Man,
Oh,
I
yeah.
really liked the
I mean, it's a
CRPG
thing that got mentioned before.
until I realized there was a timer on it. I hate that.
Oh.
Yeah. I lost my first playthrough because I took too long to kill the Staglord.
Oh
Uh-oh.
no.
Because I was exploring every single hex and taking my time and like
Right.
reading every log, and then it's like, you lose, you didn't kill him in time. And I was like, and I had to reload like 40 saves back to do it, and I was like, I don't want to play anymore.
Oh, you mean the actual like
Video game.
Kingmaker?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I
I
loved
played it
it.
like once or twice.
I loved it until I realized it was time. But
I didn't get very
that's a
far.
rabbit hole we're not going to go down.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of that game, just kidding.
Why are there so many rabbits?
So you guys do find the Wolfsbane. You have enough for like 4 doses. Go ahead and add
Awesome.
that to your inventory.
Cool.
You do find another bridge down over yonder that is in pretty good condition. It will act as a road in the future. And then you come to the hex that has the Staglord's fort. And allow me to actually pull up a description of the Staglord's fort. I actually have to open the PDF for the game for the first time
Wow.
all evening. Dude, I've run this like 8-9
Jesus.
times. I have a lot of it memorized. Like, it's why I love running this campaign, because it's very easy to just kind of flow.
Right.
So,
Okay.
it's a good one. All right, so the Staglord's fort.
We try and convince the witch to hold a cupcake sale outside. I just read that. That's funny. Yes, the witch.
The palisade itself is 15 feet high, consisting of logs which are set no further apart than 6 inches. A 30-foot wide safe zone around the outer perimeter of the palisade is beyond the reach of a haunted and creepy hillside. Although the southeast of the fort is slightly sunken section of the ground covers old graves that have been long since forgotten. The fort itself, I'm actually going to show you if I can find my mouse. All right, fort. This. Let me zoom out real quick. Grab this, move this over here, and then I have to hide some shit really quick.
Oh.
All right, and now a message from our sponsors. They're Wolfos. They're cereal, mostly.
May or may not contain plastic, GMOs,
May or may not contain
pesticides,
pesticides,
GMOs,
human hair,
Microplastics, asbestos, lead.
bits of Micmac.
bits of cobalt.
Wow, that got dark.
Hey.
They're
Here in the
Wolfos.
public school system in the stolen lands, we use pure grade G meat. It's 100% circus animal.
100% circus animal. That's probably some of the. You're fucking funny, Nick. I say it
We just
every
couldn't
time we
afford to
meet.
get anything else, but there was this one traveling circus, and they happened to have a cow.
Oh my stars. Oh my stars. That's dark.
Oh, my stars and garters.
That is so dark. All right, I'm almost done. Boom.
So-
Okay, I'll move you guys over to a different map as you see the Staglord's fort. Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, so you got a cool little kind of side profile of the fort up in the upper right-hand corner. All right, so the side profile, you see it's like a big spiky fortress. You can see there's like some like edifice, like effigies. There's effigies and whatnot. They're standing up. There's like a red flag. There's like 3 towers that you see, 2 sort of on like the front, like north side of it. One at the south side you can see sort of shadowed in the back. There's a wooden gate that is 10 feet wide, 15 feet tall. And yeah, that's what you see so far. That's kind of side view.
And where did they say that the weak part in the fence was?
Be on the east side, which from your perspective would be the left side. There is a weak spot in the wall where there's like, it's like the 6 inches, it's wide enough to where you could probably slip in. They don't worry about it because they're like 99% sure that like they would see someone approaching it because there's like that 30-foot
Is
safe
there-
zone.
Yeah.
Is there a visual representation of that place on the map?
Yeah, if you actually look down at the bottom side, so the top side is floor 2, so that's like the upper story, all right, which I'm not revealing yet because you're not inside. And then the bottom side, you will see at the bottom side, there is a little red mark right here.
Oh,
See that?
the right. You said the left.
Oh,
Right
yes,
side of
I
this
see.
map, so left side of the perspective, if you're looking at it like the upper right hand corner, left side of the actual map, it's the right side, so forgive me.
Okay.
The actual the actual battle map.
I understand you.
Yep. Yep. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So are we trying to assault this place? Not now, obviously, but like, are we at the gathering allies phase?
I
Right
mean,
now?
I would say yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're at the there's nothing stronger than a family phase, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Right.
All right. Let's take this a quarter mile at a time, Frank.
Oh, and real quick shout out. I don't know who Wayward Worm is, but thanks for the raid. We're just playing some Pathfinder First Edition Kingmaker here, and they're in the middle of getting close to the end of Chapter 1. So appreciate the raid and stick around or don't. I'm not your dad.
You should.
Not your real dad.
I'm not even but I want you to be.
Yeah.
So largely, I think we're basically trying to scout what we can.
Yeah.
So we can see the
Yeah.
lay of the land.
Yep.
We have
Mhm.
more or less confirmed where this secret entrance is, and
Correct.
really I got that, like, okay, we're not getting in there unless there's some kind of a big distraction, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So order of operations. Gather allies.
Bad mess.
War planning. Preparation. Execute the plan. Plan falls apart. Make a new plan. Don't die. Kill Stagbird.
So are we
Make a
are we
plan.
planning
As
a
soon as it meets the enemy, it falls apart completely.
Yes.
We go
Yeah.
from there.
Well.
What's that thing that Leonard Snart says?
Yeah.
So is our plan a military assault of this place or to sneak in?
I still think we
Um,
should try and lure some more of his people out and pick them off.
Yeah, the options, that's a good option. Lure and pincer, lower his numbers, then shock assault. Like one group, all of us, as many as we can get, just through that side door. Or
Yeah.
also we could just
it
like
seems-
distract them. Good.
Yeah, it's entirely in the distraction, I think. I don't know if we really have if there's honestly anyone around enough to make a legitimate, like, military threat. But causing some kind of a ruckus out front, I could totally see that.
Yeah.
And
20 or so kobolds. So Eric would actually suggest, he goes, 20 or so kobolds and, I don't know, a couple of archers, some of the guards from Oleg's. That could be enough distraction either to pull some out or at least turn their attention towards the gate.
Right. So then it would be Oradora, Jode, you, Eric, us, 4, Hervalash.
Pervilash is a fairy dragon that knows the sleep spell. I'm just saying.
That's why he would be coming
He
with
can
us.
do that. He would say, putting Staglord's
geez,
bed
word, hell.
to sleep? That's my favorite thing to do.
okay,
While
perhaps I was
prioritizing.
joking about this earlier, but they imagine Emma goes running by going, "Oh no, they're after my cupcakes," and then she's being chased by 20 kobolds.
My cupcakes bring all the Staglord's boys to the yard. My cupcakes are better than yours. Oh, that hurt me deep down inside, but I couldn't
Ugh.
resist.
It hurt to hear that. Okay, so
Stagalicious.
That's so
It's
bad.
very
That's
okay.
so bad.
Okay.
Oh.
Enough of the.
And
All
there
right.
goes the wedding party.
yeah, we're losing subscribers.
It's not about the subscribers. It's about, I don't know, it's about sending a message.
A message that you're not gonna stop.
No one knows what it means. It's provocative.
No one knows what he means, but it's provocative. How many references can we give today? Luna, why are you such
I
a
know.
kitty?
Oh gosh.
If we don't know anyone else, then I guess the only other thing we have to do is to go look for them.
That's the question. Do we go east and west and ask for party favors or people favors? Or wait, not sorry.
To do a quick recap, as the voice in the sky,
you,
guaranteed
voice.
allies, at least 15 to 20 kobolds, which,
Mhm.
I mean, they're kobolds. They'll do what they
Yeah.
do. You've got like
10 soldiers.
eight guards. So right there, let's say that's like 20, let's call it like 23 people, right?
Right.
You've got Creston, who is a good, capable fighter, right? Like he can lead, he can be in the front line, he can do what needs to be done, right?
Yeah. He can
ahead.
lead that whole shock party.
He
we
can
talked
lead the
about.
shock party to distract or do whatever you guys see fit. You've also got Jode, who is not only a cleric of Erastil, he's also a pretty competent archer. Oradora is a divine
Druid.
caster of some sort. We haven't really established it in character. She's an oracle, but I digress. So she's got some divine powers she can use to heal, help, aid, etc. Pervilash is a motherfucking fairy dragon. He will just cause chaos and be invisible, right? He'll just be crazy. And then you've got sort of the wild cards of Frank the Satyr and Emma the witch, right? So witches can control, crowd control, etc. Also, you could always ask for the Lady of the Woods' favor.
Yep.
Who knows what
I'll
she
leave
might
that
do?
up to Denick. Ooh. Free casting of summon would no, that's a D&D spell.
Hashtag no spoilers, probably nothing.
You don't know. She might trip them with
We get,
roots or something.
Just 5 attack bunnies. That's all I'm asking for.
Just 5 rabbits from the Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That's like a CR 15, right? That's good. Get out of here. I'm not gonna give that to
and then we'd have to fight them.
I wasn't thinking that attack bunny. I just threw out attack bunny, but I guess the Monty Python gift
That's good.
I put out earlier seated in my mind.
Every D&D group starts off like they want to be Lord of the Rings, and they all end up Monty Python, as is tradition.
Yeah. Okay, so
you have a very contemplative and thoughtful expression on your face, Denick. I'd like to hear from you.
Oh yeah.
Well, given the list, then the biggest thing then is going to be coordinating between them. So I don't know if I can just pray to the lady or whatever and say, "Hey, can you send a little route somewhere that says be here on this day and prepare to make a note or something." If we can get even close to the number of people there, then maybe they can bait him out into an encirclement or something like that, and while we sneak in to try and punch up Staglord. But I don't really know if I have a more it's we have the resources, but I don't think Denick would be able to understand how to work that into an actual actionable plan. Aside from do a thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there a walkie-talkie I could make? Like a Wondrous Item walkie-talkie?
No.
Is the message spell?
What do you think this is? 3.5?
Well, there's sending stones, right? In 5e, is there an equivalent?
So the message spell has a distance of
take your 5e and you go away. I'm just kidding. So 5e, whatever gets you to roll your math rocks.
Yeah.
Sorry, Denick, go ahead.
One thing to think about, though, is if we gather a large force, the people in the fort will probably notice us coming.
Let's be real.
Well, that's the point.
Let's be real. They'll probably turtle. If you bring a large force to bear, why would they leave their position of strength, right?
That's why I think if we want them to come out, we have 1 or 2 people who are really fast, lure them out, basically.
Somebody with a horse.
Yes, exactly. Finally.
Okay.
The cavalier that we got in the party. Look at that. Who would have thought?
Well, now
not
that
me.
we're not fighting in friggin' caves.
No, but this is exactly the thing.
That's really true.
Yeah.
It's been real rough for you, Samia. Go ahead, Denick. Sorry.
We are pulling our tactics from the tactic of all fantasy RPGs, which is we need only distract his eye, of course. And the large group of people, it doesn't matter if they're turtling up there, so long as they're watching that group. That's the big thing. It's not about them not sneaking in
Well,
from a different direction to get to the wall,
except
right?
if they turtle, we have to fight all of them.
Right.
But if they're looking this way and we're coming in this way, that's the point, right?
Yeah. I think the best way to
The question is
prevent
whether we can actually do that.
the best way to prevent them from doing that is make it so that they have to fight the shock group of kobolds and guardsmen.
So I imagine this conversation is taking place while you're all like on a hill, sort of like looking down. Because imagine the Staglord's fort is like down near the edge of the Tuskwater, right?
Mhm.
But it's like
Oh, yeah,
up
a
on
mile
sort of like
away.
a hill. You guys are like pretty far away. You're just seeing this sort of like hazy view of it. But you maybe got, I don't know, like what do your Arcanist eyes see, Ingram? No, but what you see, and like Eric will bring up, maybe we're going about this too complicated. We'll have the numbers to take them. I think our focus should be getting the gate open. If we get the gate open, then kobolds, the guards, Creston, maybe even Samia, if you choose to ride in, it would give you all a chance to, well, enter in. They're not going to be expecting a frontal assault. They think their position's secure, don't they?
Well, then
Just a
maybe
thought.
at night.
But
At
can
night,
we
when we
get
know
that
this.
gate open?
Well, maybe using the weak spot in the wall. At night, when it's dark, Staglord is drunk. A small force of us, the four of us,
Right.
sneak in, make our way to the gate, and let the larger force in.
I have a bit of an out there idea.
Does it revolve around fantasy walkie-talkies? Because no, stop. All right, just let that die.
There is a magic item that is.
I
walkie-talkie.
know. I'm giving you shit. Okay, it's
Okay.
fine. I love you.
All right.
You're a good man.
There are missive stones. That's a magic item. That was a separate idea that I had.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
It's CO3 to make. It's a neck wondrous item. I could craft it. If I remember correctly, it's half to make it, so it'd be 2,500 gold though.
Okay.
That's the big issue.
Hey, Denick, what's the 3.5? I can't think of the name of it. It was like the Technomancer guy. You know what I'm talking about? They can make like a what?
Artificer?
Artificer. Yeah, I think Ingram wants to be an artificer. That's what I'm feeling from him.
Oh.
And no, stop.
Yeah, there was an ancient class that just was weird.
It was very weird.
Had some very serious issues in its
It
design.
really did.
Can your magic hide a person from sight?
I do not have invisibility now. That is a spell. What's a second level spell? I think
It is.
the issue with invisibility is it's only a few minutes, a few rounds. Sorry,
No, invisibility is a few minutes.
few minutes. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
greater
It's a
invisibility
few
is
minutes.
rounds, but like invisibility at this point would be 5 minutes long if you were to cast
Yeah.
it.
It would be
I
fun.
think Denick will kind of like glance at the fortress, looks at like the entrance to the hole in the wall and to the door. He's just like, I mean, if I had a bit of magical assistance, I could almost certainly make it from that hole in the wall to the door.
Mhm.
Because, no offense,
Scrolls do I have?
some of you sneaking around sound like a pressure cooker rolling downhill.
Yes, yes. Heavy armor.
Well, I mean,
Also, what is a
I'm-
pressure cooker?
Yes, it sounds
It's a
fascinating.
weird invention from
Pressure cookers and Dutch ovens are actually surprisingly old inventions. They're just
Yeah.
fucking old things in there.
Right,
It's
right.
a
Huh.
pot you close and cook things in it.
It's
It's a gnomish cooking
it's an
device.
item. It's a gnomish item from Numeria.
Yeah. Okay, so obscuring mist doesn't do anything. I have scrolls that I evidently can
The Tiffany problem.
put into my book. Shocking grasp, obscuring mist, fireball, haste, but that's it. Nothing that
Well-
could help us.
We did just meet that alchemist. Perhaps he can make something that would suffice.
Right.
Because what I'm saying is that I don't know if I'm subtle enough to get through that crack to the door and open it by myself.
Right.
But with maybe a bit of mystical aid.
Did he mention that he
I
had
will
potions of
try.
invisibility?
No.
You know what? For the purpose of this, I'm going to say yes, because I like where your mind's going and I want to reward the creativity. I'm
Okay.
not
Well,
going
I
to
mean,
punish you
he
by
said
saying you
something
can't
about,
get it.
like,
Right.
potions up to 2nd
Would
level. I didn't know.
would it be able to?
Knew.
Would we be able to get 2?
Yes.
Okay. So here's my idea. Now with that information, it's coming together. One, the only way that I can see we could open the gate from within is if there's enough people to hold off the enemy while we open it.
Mhm.
Second, if the caster level is high enough, then it could get in, find the fallen knight, talk to him on behalf of Jode. Jode preps Denek on what to say to get him to help us and opens the gate for us.
That may be a little too complicated.
Right. That's what the second potion's for. He could just rip it and run away.
I mean, Demek is certainly selfless enough to try and stupid enough to try.
I don't think we should rely on that. What was his name again?
Akiros.
I
Or Akaros.
I was going to say Akira.
Akaros is what I call him.
Akaros.
Whether or not that's the correct pronunciation,
yeah.
who knows?
It is a lot could go wrong.
Yes. A lot could go wrong.
There's a pause as you say that, and Eric's going to add in, I'm almost certain a lot will go wrong.
Why?
Because it always does. It's not about if, it's about how we respond to it.
Wisdom from the mouth of babes.
Hey, remind me, that huge thing that crawled up out of the crack in the ground?
The centipede?
The centipede?
Back in the day?
Old
Old
Red-Eye?
Red-Eye?
Oh, that thing.
Who almost killed everyone?
Yeah.
When there was almost a
died.
TPK on session like 5? Yeah, that was fun.
We could summon
yeah.
it here and have it come up.
No!
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let's
Yes,
summon
we're
back
gonna-
the thing that almost nuked us.
I'm pretty sure that went to
We're
the
gonna
Underdark.
kite old Red Eye from
Yeah.
this cave all the way here
Yeah.
and let him loose on the gates.
Yeah. We gotta we're gonna bug the Cita moat while stringing fireballs. Sure.
You all are ridiculous, and I love it.
You gotta remember to pot every 3 seconds too.
Yeah.
We're speed
I
run.
think we've got the formation of
Yeah.
the plan. So it sounds like we're going to gather
Yes.
what allies we can. We have
Mhm.
many kobolds. We have Jode, Oradora, Pervilash. We have Creston. We have his soldiers that he brought with him. You've got a good force of anywhere between, let's say, 25 to 30, right? Do you want to ask for aid from Frank and Emma?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would just be good, even if they are backliners who are going to take care of us after we run away,
Frank
if we need to run away.
is perhaps surprisingly very, like, he responds very positively. Hey, so you're going after the stag? You know, that guy's kind of a big, massive dick. And you know what? If we're gonna shove it to him, I'd like to be there. Emma's all, you mean we could use the castle for the wedding? Whoa, darling. Okay, I know I'm not really big on, like, you know, big weddings. It's gonna be huge. And she, like, gets all excited and happy about it. So she's all in. So you're gonna have a witch caster who can do things like darkness. She's got a little bit of shadowy magic. She's got a little bit of darkness. She can misfortune. She can fortune. She's got some hexes. So you've got like a really good sort of support caster with you. Speak mechanically. Frank is just a guy, but he'll do his best, right? He's just a satyr. Hey, I'm Frank. I'm a satyr. It's my girlfriend, fiance, my partner. And you know we're gonna go and we're gonna fuck some shit up. Eh.
Does he have any like spell-like abilities?
Yeah, but he doesn't like to talk about them.
Okay.
It's a real
Of
personal.
course he doesn't.
That's a real personal question. I'm gonna need you to just reel it back in, buddy. I don't know you like that. Frank the Satyr. I love that
Right.
guy.
And
Love
then
that
Jode.
guy. Look at him. Look at his
Look
little
at
pot
him.
belly.
Look
Look
at
at his
his-
little belly.
yeah.
What does she see in him? I don't know.
It's just a dude.
What she
You got,
sees in
you
him
got
is
Emma
not on
over
camera.
here, just all rosy cheeked with her biscuits.
Yep.
Go ahead. Sorry.
And then
Dennick.
Jode Ordor, Hervalash.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Got them.
I mean, you guys basically have pretty much the same force as the other. The question, I think, is just, like, how do we get the gate open? Once the
Right.
gate's open, you guys can flood in, right? So it's
Yeah,
all about just
yeah.
getting the gate open, then it's just their force against yours, and candidly speaking, you've got more, like, competent people probably than they do. It's not going to be an easy
We
fight.
hope.
There will be losses, right? But,
Um,
I mean, I personally, like, in the voice of Eric, I would say that he agrees with that plan. My only thing he would say is, like, we've heard from two people, right? So, as Eric. If I remember correctly, Dennick, you said that the woman we rescued, one that tends the horses, why is her name escaping me? Regardless, she said that the man, this Akiros, he's looking for redemptions, and so too did that waterlogged ghoul. I think we should attempt to parley with him.
I think so too, but if I need to get the gate open, I don't know if I'll have time to do that too. So that might be more of an emergent, hey, let's chat when we see each other after the gate's open. Because, like,
So,
I agree with Theragor that just trying to sneak in and talk to him alone is tantamount to suicide.
It's too much. It's too complicated.
Correct. I would agree. So I think the plan is Dennick sneaks in, cracks the gate is open, the rest of the party charges it.
right.
That's what I'm hearing from everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
it's
sounds
not
like
a
our
bad
best
plan.
bet.
Yeah.
What is the gate? The gate is wood?
Yeah, it's a wood gate. So the nice thing about the gate too is that it opens like it doesn't rise and fall. It
Yeah,
actually opens like in
barn door.
Yeah, like a
Okay.
barn door style. So like as soon as he like starts to turn it, like there's gonna be an opening where people can start to funnel in. As soon as like
Right.
he does like a couple of things like and you know, you don't know how many quote unquote rounds it would take to open the gate, but like
Right.
he does it quietly at night when most people are sleeping.
Quick offhand question.
The place where bad plans happen. Fantastic, Dennick. Fantastic.
Yeah, the hills around the fort. How much alchemist fire would it take to blow the gate open?
So that's a really good question. Here's what I'll tell you. If you think you can burn the gate down, maybe think of a different plan.
Okay.
Like, anyone that has a wooden fort preps it against fire. Like,
Okay.
just
That makes
you're
sense.
a smart guy. You think back to some
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, they probably got it prepped against fire because
Yeah.
like
I mean, we
it'd
did the same
that'd
thing
be-
as well.
That'd be
so...
way too easy to like. Oh, somebody just walks up with some burning arrows and burns us out now. Like it's
Yeah.
prepped against fire. It's got fire retardant on the walls, right? Fantasy fire retardant.
Fire mentally disabled. I'm sorry.
No,
that was a bad joke.
Ingram, boo, boo, boo.
I'm sorry, that was bad.
Yeah,
That does not reflect
minus
who I am personally.
$10,000, 10,000 wolf bucks. You're in the negative. You're in the negative,
think-
buddy. That was
I
real
think,
bad.
I think you gave me $1 million once. I'm
Yeah,
not
well,
even
you're at
sure.
minus 10 million now. All right,
Okay.
so 0 out of 10, bro.
I apologize.
It's fine.
Uh,
I'll forgive you
hours.
eventually.
2 hours of sleep, full day work.
All right, let's reel it back in and move past that terrible moment.
All right, so just Dennick sneaks in. cracks the door, lets us in.
And then,
Do
oh no, here I go killing again. I mean, that's
Yeah.
pretty much the plan.
Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Do we want to do
I mean,
anything?
if we can get, sorry, if we can get enough potions that everyone can be invisible, then, sure,
Yeah.
let's go in and try and convince Arodus to open the door. But like,
You can get 6 potions.
yikes.
I just rolled for it.
Okay, so 6 potions can get 2
I don't
of
think
us.
Samia wants to sneak in though, because I'm not gonna lie. Because I'm like, to be honest, like,
I'm getting so sick of having none of my abilities.
yeah, she wants to be on a horse.
Yeah.
She's
If
gonna be.
Arodus
Also-
opens the
She's
gate,
gonna be with the
Also,
main
like-
force,
totally
preparing to charge in.
I just want to point out, I'm in heavy armor. My stealth is garbage.
like minus
Dude.
20.
Well, we give one potion to the horse, and then this is like,
How is that woman
hell is that?
flying?
It's like Wonder Woman in the Invisijet. Or whatever it's called.
I think it is the Invisijet. That sounds
Like-
right to me.
Just like static moving through the air.
Beautiful. All right.
But yeah, I think I will stay with the main force. I know the usual rule is don't split the party, but I think I will
but
get
like
us...
you're barely splitting the party, and if everything goes well, it'll be more narrative of the gate open, and then we'll roll
Right.
initiative. If everything
Yeah,
goes
it's like-
bad, then Dennick's gonna need to roll a new character. So
Yeah.
it's all good.
I think if me and Dennick go in, I don't have a lot in stealth, but we'll be invisible, so
plus
kinda
20.
won't. Yeah, it's plus 20 out of a 23 because of
Not
a
bad.
plus 3 base. I don't have any armor. We'll be invisible.
Are you open to a DM suggestion?
Go ahead.
A game master, I should say, as we're playing Pathfinder.
Yes.
Why not send in like a couple of people, like Theragor with a potion of invisibility, Dennick, Ingram. Maybe you bring, I don't know, Jode and I don't know, maybe Orador or something. Like bring bring a sizable force. You have 6 potions of invisibility you can buy from Boken. Each of them
What's
are
the
caster
L?
level 5. That's going to
Five.
give you 5 minutes of invisibility, which
Yeah.
in tactical
Bring the
terms
fairy dragon
is
too,
forever.
honestly.
Which can
Yeah,
honestly, the fairy dragon can like go up and be like, "Oh, the 2 guys near the gate, go to bed," and like put people to sleep so Dennick can just open the gate. Like you've got a
Okay.
plan here. You just got to enact
So-
it.
Me, Dennick, Theragor, Pervalash. Pervalash takes care of his own invisibility. 2 potions each.
Yeah.
10 minutes max.
If you needed
In and
it,
out. Wham bam. Thank you, ma'am.
and then the gate
Sounds
gets
good.
opened, and boom.
sounds good.
I think
Yeah.
we have a plan, boys and girls. And
All
then
right.
it's just a charge up, Samia at the front, just
Mhm.
doing her actual cavalier things. It's going to be great. You're
Yeah.
going to love that.
All 2 of our characters.
Samia being more than just a bad fighter, who would have thought?
Yeah,
Not me.
Wow.
Wow.
Hey,
If all
Cavaliers
else
not on their
fails-
horse. It's a rough life.
Yeah.
It
If all
really
else
is.
fails, Samia can just charge the gate, and we'll probably just destroy it in one hit, anyways.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah,
Okay, so
I love it.
chain of command wise, Samia will be in control of the forces. Kirsten will maneuver everyone, take care of tactics. Then
How many ways are we going to butcher that poor man's name?
I've given up.
Preston Dunst is a very well-respected soldier and actress.
It took me a second. Okay. Yep.
Took me a second too. That
That's a very funny
she's just
name.
fucking hilarious.
put that on
Like,
your
you are
tombstone.
fucking hilarious. bro.
Preston
So
Garris.
So I guess the real question is, are we going to take the in-game time to go and grab everyone and get them to come here, or are we just kind of fast-forwarding to...
No, I
It's
mean,
done.
at this point, candidly
Deal.
speaking, like, you tell me, like, who do you want there? I have the forces. You guys will amass, like, late in the evening.
A very funny man on his tombstone.
My internet
Um,
connection is freaking out.
R.I.P. Val Kilmer, by the way.
You guys still hear me? You cannot hear me, can you?
Sorry, DW, you are breaking up a lot.
Yeah.
My internet's being
See ya.
stupid. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah. Yep. Alright, web crashed again. Well, that was fun. Well, the party's going to put together... Oh, I think I'm coming back. Here we go. Here we go. I think it's working. Maybe? Oh, are we back?
He's back.
I see some
Hey, look at that.
activity. Yes.
I love my
He's
internet lately,
alive.
guys. I love it.
I love it.
Everybody's
I
in
love it too.
everybody's in the wrong face hole again. All right, so where were we?
We have a plan. Can we skip the RP and just
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. So let me just quickly move everybody. All right, we got this guy here, this guy here. He goes up here. Go over here. I think Samia's on that side. No, that's Ingram crap. It's like the 4th time I've had to do this. It's been fun. You know what the best part is? It's only for like 30 seconds it cuts out, but it's enough to just completely muck things up. But with that being said, yeah, so here's where we're gonna end today's session because my internet's starting to get real fucky, and we're almost at 4 hours anyway. So you guys are going to gather up your forces, amass along the edge at night as quietly as possible. I'm going to give you the element of surprise. You have enough casters in your midst that you can like maybe cast like darkness and just things like that, and like you edge your way up to put yourself in a perfect position where within like as soon as the gates open, within a round your main force can hit that gate and then the battle commences. Our next session, next Saturday, God's willing my internet doesn't get fucky, is going to be a ballroom blitz. All right, expect next week's session intro song to be Ballroom Blitz. All right, and we'll do probably just a little bit of role play of you guys getting in, have you actually roll a couple checks, maybe get the gate open, and then just expect probably 3-4 hours of fighting. Like it's gonna be a big fight. There's gonna be a lot of initiatives, and it's gonna take us a long time. But I'm very much looking forward to it. As I always say at the end of every session, any final thoughts, questions, comments, or concerns before we get ready to wrap up today's episode, which is gonna be choppy as fuck when I upload it, and I'll have to put a disclaimer like, "Hey, my internet was being fucky. Sorry when everyone just disappears and you can only hear me cursing to myself about it. My bad." Because it's still recording locally, just everyone disappears, including myself. I'm just like, God damn it.
Oh, right, that's right.
It's great. So yeah, any final thoughts, questions, comments, or concerns, folks?
Nope. Looking forward to taking down the
big battle.
Stagbirds.
Finally, 11 sessions in, we're getting to the end of chapter 1. All right,
and the Albert.
As I always say at the end of every
Question,
session, go ahead.
Who's the 5th or the 6th person in Roll20 with us?
Oh, not the bad guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my other screen that I use for the recording.
Oh, okay. I was just like, I never was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's me. Just I have an alternate one because I have my like GM view, and then I have another player view that I record, so that you're not seeing what I see as GM. Yeah, and I called it as a joke, not the bad guys, because it is the bad guys. It's me. But anyways, I say at the end of every session, thank you to the players for playing. I do want to give a quick shout out if you guys are still out there. Wayworn Worm. Thank you very much for the raid. Hope you guys enjoyed our deliberation about tactics for an hour. But in the meantime, be well, be safe, and happy gaming. And remember, the dice have a story to tell. Every week we figure out what that story is. Until next time, I wish you all the best and happy math rocks. We'll see you guys around. Cheers. Go ahead and end stream.